handful of twig and berries.
And Rosenberg.
Everything about it was pure, unadulterated ASS.
This isn't North Dakota. This is New York.
This is Don, Hahn, and Rosenberg.
The best threesome I've ever heard.
On ESPN New York and streaming live on YouTube.
You ready to do this, boys, on a Friday?
Hell yeah. Let's go.
3
Football
o'clock
Friday.
in the big city. All fired up. It's an NFL/MLB Friday, baby.
Well, and I'm shot out of a cannon. For the first time this year, your boy, Peter Rosenberg, the Peanuts celebrate 3 points in the bag on a Friday.
Three.
Woo! I got a game right, folks.
Had it all the way, didn't you?
Oh, yeah. By the way, I did.
17-3 or whatever was 17-3, 17. You had
Yeah, 2 touchdowns.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You were in great shape.
If you went to bed at that point feeling good,
Yeah, I would have
you
known
wouldn't
nothing
have known
better.
the anxiety.
Right, to have lived through it. And instead they said, the betting god said, we can't let Peter just chill out. There was a touchdown late that would have ended the bet and came off the board. Instead, all of a sudden Arizona, which did nothing for 3.5 quarters, moves down the field like Kyler Murray is prime Steve Young. You get a 20-20 game, and in the end they narrowly get the – and, Don, that's where I had you in my head, though. When it's 1.5, you saying essentially it's a winner.
Right.
And that's what it ends up in the end when the game is tied 20-20. So I'm feeling good, guys. I finally only have 2 games to pick, and I got 3 points. So my awful season – maybe this was the turning point. Maybe that field goal late was the moment where I will turn things around in the picks.
When that kickoff didn't land in the landing zone. You know.
I hate when that happens.
What football moment that was.
Think about all the times in history when we've
Right.
thought about the landing zone and how
yeah.
important the landing zone is, you know?
It's all about the landing. Let's be honest.
Like all those great because the Raiders have the greatest nicknames for their wins. The Sea of Hands game, the Holy Roller game, all right? The Immaculate Reception. They all came down to the landing zone. If they had just kicked it in the landing zone at some point during those games, everything would have turned out different. And now we're going to have, at some point, the landing zone game.
I'd also like to give credit where credit is due to my guys. Your thoughts the other day when Dan Quinn spoke appear to have landed as accurate as now it's official. Jaden Daniels out another week against the Falcons this weekend. So, and Terry McLaurin also out. Not exactly what you signed up for when you headed into the year. But, guys, isn't this what we always talk about? Every team in this league, if you're going to turn out to be something, at some point has a sob story of injuries. These ones are really big. It's a quarterback. It's your number one target, and that stinks. But the fact of the matter is, guys, the teams who end up there at the end find a way when they lose big players to win football games. That's how this league, more than any other league, works.
Yeah, that's – it really is that battle. It's cliche. Here it comes. Get ready for it, Brace. Battle of attrition, especially in the football season. Every season has that moment in the season where a key player is missing, guys get hurt. So either somebody fills the spot and you start talking about that player, or you just get through it because that's what good teams do. That's the difference between bad teams and good teams. The good teams, everybody goes through some certain injuries. The good teams can endure them, and the bad teams that don't have depth can't, and the whole season goes to hell. Now, key injuries though, like Cincinnati, for instance, they lose Burrow. It's a wrap.
Well, and Burrow's number is what, 10 weeks or something?
Yeah, like he could come back late in the season, but the only way you bring him back is if you have a reason to keep playing, and you don't know if they will by that point. So that's what you have to see now, and you having a good, capable backup quarterback like Marcus Mariota that's smart GMing. That's what that is. It's having a guy that probably will never play, but if you have to break glass in case of emergency, you know you can rely on him.
And I'm sure they're really excited on DC Radio to open their show with that. But we're going to dive into what's going on with the baseball teams and Jackson Dart. Jets, they'll get their moment on Monday because they're going to play the Dolphins. But, you know, we're going to incorporate all of it today. We got our picks at 5:45. We got ENN coming up at 6. And, of course, we got Fraud Alert Friday. We'll start it all off as far as that's concerned at 4:30. So we got to line that up today. But even the excitement around Dart, although they're going to be flying planes over the building, I'm going to get into this a little bit more in depth later on. This is not the week to do that, people. All right? It's not the week to do that. And it's also a waste of money because it's not like Mara's going to sell the team. He's already embarrassed. You know how I know he's embarrassed? By the product. 0-3. You don't need to fly a plane over the building. They're 0-3. Mm-hmm. All right? They're 1-15 in their last 16 games or whatever. Only the Jets have done that in the history of New York football to be that bad over that kind of a span. So he's embarrassed already. But we'll get to that. But it's such an interesting weekend of baseball. Yankees know they're in. Mets don't. I think both these teams are going to get in. I think the Yankees have an excellent chance to win the division, but they know they're in, and they've got their rotation set for whether it's the 3 wild card games or whether it's going to be for the start of the divisional round. Mets, they've got it right in front of them, right? Finally, a manager can say it, and it actually is true. It's all in front of us. Win the games against the Marlins, and you're in. And it doesn't matter what the Reds do. It doesn't matter what the Diamondbacks do. Just win your games, and then you're in. But, Alan, it's got to feel as frustrating and up and down as the Yankee season has been for you. Tell me at least it feels good. Not just the way they're playing right now, but you know you're in. Yeah, it would stink if you don't win the division because you're so close, but it can't hurt that much if they go in on this roll and it's a wild card.
You know what I'm fighting? I'm fighting the lament. We were doing it before. All right, what's the game now that's going to cost them? What was the game? It's amazing that we do that, but that's what we do. Right now, all I'm thinking about is a July 23rd, Max Fried on the mound. You split the first 2 in Toronto. You get this one, and now maybe fast forward to today, you're not in this place where you need help from a bad team to beat the and then the Jays have to lose one and you have to sweep. So you have to make sure you take care of business, but it doesn't matter if you take care of business if the Jays take care of business. You have no control over it. So that's the game that I look at. Did they lose control? It's a waste of time to do that. But this is what we do. Because it's what we do. You asked me. So I'm battling that where I'm worrying about what was that game, and that pisses you off. But I am looking forward. I'm looking at the last couple of weeks, what their record has been, what the bullpen has done. They haven't given up a run in a while. The bullpen's been good. The starting pitching, you're starting to see it. Like, you know now who you can rely on. Fried, who went through a little something later in the middle, maybe the third of the season, he's definitely figured it out and gotten over if it was a blister, if it was fatigue, whatever it was. He's been great. And I'll tell you what, Rodon, I've never really been able to fully trust him, but how can you not? He's 18 wins. He's been really good. And now you've got to see what he can be also as a number 2 starter in the postseason. So I'm optimistic. I told you, they pulled me back in just when I thought I was out.
All right, now here's the $64,000 question. And Peter, you don't have a dog in the fight, so you can be the BS meter on Allen. Okay?
All right. I'm listening.
I want that's the role I want Peter to play with this.
Okay.
BS see if Allen's telling the truth.
All right.
And then you can give your opinion on what you would do, and I'll give you my opinion on what I would do. The Yankees are playing great baseball. What is it, 21-12 and the last whatever, and playing great baseball. The Blue Jays are been horrendous. But the Blue Jays may still hold on to this division. And even though you got to play the extra round in the wild card, who would you rather be? Would you rather be the team that wins the division but stumbles into the postseason? Even though they get the bye, they're playing their worst baseball of the season right when it matters the most. Or would you rather be the Yankees, who are hot, playing some of their best baseball, but have to settle for the wild card and get the extra round? So, Alan, who would you rather be? The Yankees hot and the wild card, or the Blue Jays cold as ice and win the division?
Who would I rather be?
Right.
The Yankees or the Blue Jays?
Yeah.
I'd rather be you always want to be the team that's hot going into the playoffs.
But it's an extra series.
I get it, but I'm hot.
But history has shown, Peter, that doesn't really matter. Sometimes the teams that get the bye come in a little stale.
Look no further than last year, New York Mets.
Yeah.
They had to win out at the end of the season, right? They had to play that extra game, that crazy fly to Milwaukee, fly to Atlanta, fly to Milwaukee, right? but they got on a run. They got on a toot, like Don likes to say. And that they rode that. So having to play the wild card didn't matter. So I'd always rather be the team that's feeling hot, that's rolling, rather than the team that's ice cold and now sits for a week. Although the 98 Yankees, of course, would argue otherwise.
Yeah, but the 98 Yankees were an established,
but they did kind of
team.
Stumble into the end of the season.
Well, but I'd rather use an example the 2000 Yankees, who really just did nothing at the end of the season, won 87 games, but still won their third consecutive title. But at least we're sitting on 2 straight going in, so they were playing with their food clearly. Right. Peter, do you buy that? And what would you feel?
So, I buy it. I believe that that's how he feels. I'm not calling it BS, but I will say he's wrong, unfortunately.
Really interesting.
Yes, I would, if it was a matter of home field advantage, right? If the only difference you were saying, Don, was that it's whether you're the team who gets the home field advantage in the first round, then I would go with the hotter team. But ultimately, when you're talking about a full round of the playoffs, even if it's only a 3-game series, particularly, Don, with how much pitching can be impacted immediately based on what happens over the course of those games, the right answer can only be you'd rather be the team who's not playing. It's a matter of saving arms. It's a matter of being able to set up your pitching the way you want it for the divisional round. I'm sorry. I'd always rather be that team than the team that happens to be hot at this moment.
I don't think there's a right or wrong answer because I think both of you came up with logical reasons why you picked what you picked. You want to be riding the high, like the Mets, playing meaningful games, and then you catch a Philly team that's standing still, right? Hadn't played in a few days. Different story. But God, I want to be playing well going in. I think that's too important. I really do. I think I'd rather be the Yankees hot in the wild card than the Blue Jays who've completely lost their way. Now, the Blue Jays can win out, sweep their series against the Rays and win 4 straight. Is that enough to take care of how they feel about how things have gone the last month? I don't think so. It's a lousy Rays team. They'll still be going in with a ton of question marks. And if the Yankees sweep their series and just have to settle for the wild card but go in with 3 more wins on top of it and just circumstances don't allow them to be the division winner, I think I'd rather be the Yankees, Alan. I think you're right.
Yeah. Again, I think you want to be the team that's feeling good. And I look at what's always the argument too in the NFL, right? Like sometimes that extra week off can mess with a team, and it's like too much time off, and it's harder to turn it back on. I don't know if baseball is really the same way because it's not the same kind of physicality of a sport, but I don't know. Like especially when you went through a doldrums like they went through, where they were 10 or 11 and 20 or something like that. They were 11 games under 500 on the stretch. I know that. And so when you get out of a tailspin like that and start playing well, and they're 29 and 12 since August 11th, you want to almost just keep playing now because you don't want to lose whatever momentum you were building. So if you're going to give me 2 choices, a cold team that gets a division or the hot team down the stretch, that has to play a wild card, I'll take the hot team.
Now, just looking at the schedule, guys, because this is, I think, what you have to factor in, Peter, when you're talking about I'd rather take the bye. If the Yankees were to win the division, looking at the schedule, the next possible time that they would play would be Saturday. Because you'd have Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday for the wild card.
Day off.
And then the day off on Friday, and then they would start the divisional round on Saturday. You'd have your rotation set. You're right. Everybody's rested. All the bumps and bruises of a long 162-game schedule, boy, that's going to make you feel good. But you go almost a week off? That's unheard of in Major League Baseball. Completely unheard. During the All-Star break, you don't take that much time off. You play on Sunday. You play the following Friday. This is going to be playing on Thursday. I mean, think about how long that is.
But it's a different conversation, right? Like now, if you were to say to me, having the bye is a disadvantage altogether just because you're not playing ball, that to me, I totally co-sign. Now, I would argue, though, that if you're a team like the Blue Jays who have not been playing well, the time off is much more to your advantage than it would be the Yankees who are playing great baseball.
Because you're talking about getting right.
because you have a chance. If you're the Blue Jays, take a week, start over again.
Yeah,
but if you're the Yankees, you want to. If you're the Yankees, you are in the exact right spot. Keep playing baseball every single day because you've been playing great baseball.
So you're saying there's no wrong answer. That's what you're saying.
Really not.
There's no wrong answer because of the fact that you get to set your rotation and catch a break. But I don't think there's anything wrong with what Al and I are saying is that break worth it? All right, Yankees are going to have to, and you're going to have to play the extra round.
But like I said, the break in this case is worth it because your team's playing like garbage. So why not take a break?
Right,
5 days might help.
But the Yankees not getting the break, and if they take care of business against the Red Sox, who everybody assumes they're going to play, they're going to come in to their next series just with their hair on fire.
Now, correct me if I'm wrong, I'm trying to figure out, the bracket would work like this. Toronto would play the winner of Cleveland and Detroit?
No. Yankees, Red Sox.
You would be Yankees, Red Sox?
Correct. That's what MLB has.
Yankees, Red Sox would be the wild card right now.
Oh, I see why. Okay, expecting Cleveland to win because they have the division winner. I'm looking at it just from the 6 teams rather than the way the bracket should break down. So you'd end up seeing that cold Toronto team that sat for a week if you beat the Red Sox. Wouldn't that be something? Then really test your theory, right?
Yeah.
That would really test your theory because now it's the team that was cold going in that sat for a week versus the team that's red hot that got through the wild card round, and do they stay hot? And talk about payback, too, because Toronto owned you. And they let you hear about it, too, by the way. So, I'll tell you what, the way that sets up, Donnie, I almost might, as a Yankees fan, that would be, how satisfying would that be? Dispatch the Red Sox and then take on Toronto, which had a lot to say to you all season. Especially after, the stuff that Springer was saying.
Yeah.
I kind of feel like when you want to put a run together, I like that. I kind of like that.
Yeah,
that would get me fired up.
The way the brackets are now, the Yankee Red Sox winner would take on the Blue Jays.
Yeah.
Tigers, Guardians would take on
Wouldn't you sign up for that? Would you sign up for that, Don? Peter, you got to know that first test your theory, but I would sign up for that as, if you're a Yankees fan, the perspective of this season and what we say. Remember with the Knicks, we were saying pelts on the wall, right? The different teams you owe something, and the Celtics were one of them. This would be one of those kind of pelts on the wall runs for the Yankees if they could do this. I'd take that.
The only thing sexier for me was Houston being in the picture, but obviously that they're not very good right now anyway. So,
but still, as good as the Guardians have been, red hot. Are you really worried about either Detroit or Cleveland at this point? Is it just same old with the Central?
Isn't Cleveland that hot team?
But how can that be a thing?
I know they're hot, but
that's really a thing.
The Yankees going to lose to the Guardians, Alan.
I see what you're saying, Don, but they always beat the Central, so they're just going to again, just because. I don't know that I can believe in
unless
that.
the midgets come out again.
Well, I'll just say here's my bold statement, and this is assuming that this is the path that the Yankees don't win the division and are the wild card.
Mm-hmm.
If they beat Boston, they're going to the World Series. Boston will be their toughest.
So that's your
that would be. That because I think the way Toronto is right now, I don't believe in either of the Central Division teams. So I think their toughest test, if they have to settle for the wild card, will be Boston. And if they beat Boston, I think they go back to the World Series. Their toughest opponent after that will be whoever comes out of the National League. You agree or disagree? I know it's your team, so you don't want to talk down about a possible opponent. I don't have a dog in the fight.
What do I care? What, are they going to hear me? Who cares?
No, I'm just saying. Know how fans get. You don't want to be like, Alan was hoping for the Guardians. No, look what happened.
But I'm looking at it. Again, that stuff I don't care about. I am looking more at Toronto because they did give you such a hard time this year, and I'm looking at that. That would be such an emotional. Plus, it's also longer, right? Wild card's 2 games. You got to win 4. So to me, Toronto would be the more dramatic series, and there'd be a lot of emotion in that. And I mean, so that would feel like if they get through that, then I agree with you. I think ALCS is a wash. You'll walk through that, and then you'll get to the World, and that'll be your toughest opponent in the World Series.
But right now,
I still feel like Toronto, despite how I know they are not playing well. I know they've got a couple of injuries. I get it, but there's going to be a lot of juice to a series like that.
The way we're talking right now is because right now the Yankees are the wild card team, but it still feels very good they're going to win this division.
You think so? You think Toronto's going to lose one? At least they have to lose at least one to the Rays.
Most of the Rays.
What are they playing for?
Well, no, I could be dead wrong about this. I think the Marlins taking on the Mets, Orioles, and the Rays, 3 under 500 eliminated teams.
Mm-hmm.
They will be fired up to have some say in the
like
postseason.
A playoff game for them?
Right. As a professional athlete, you got to play the games anyway, right? I know you're thinking about the golf course, but you've been handed the gift of a meaningful game for the other team. It's a rival, right? Mm-hmm. So I'm sure the O's have no love for the Yankees. I'm sure the Rays have no love for the Blue Jays. And the Marlins would love to stick it to the Mets. They do all the time.
Yes.
Their announcer talked about it at the end of the Philly game last night. Why wouldn't you be pumped up? If you're playing Pittsburgh, you rest. You don't play. You're thinking about the golf course. You just want to go home. But you've been handed the gift of meaningful games in what has been a lost season. Why wouldn't you be fired up to try to hurt the Yankees, Mets, and Blue Jays at this point if you're those 3 teams? Right? Wouldn't you? You played. I mean, wouldn't you be fired up for that?
Well, think about it. The Orioles aren't sitting guys. Like they're not going to rest guys or they don't want to get injured.
And Alcantara's going for the Marlins tonight. He hasn't had a great year, but he's there. Yeah. As a manager, as an organization, as a fan of those teams. Well, in a meaningless year, wouldn't you just get pumped up to at least have a say? Eyeballs are on you. People are going to be watching those games this weekend.
And remember, the Orioles don't consider themselves to be what this season has been, right? If you're the Orioles, you imagine you're going to be back next year. I don't think this isn't the Orioles of one of those.
Well, consider after the manager move that they fired the manager, they have actually played about 500 ball.
Right, they've been decent. I imagine they believe this year was an anomaly and they're going to be back. So why would you not want to play with pride? There's no chance the Orioles lay down against the Yankees this weekend. Although we're going to get calls later, though, of course, because we know that there's some of our callers who believe certain pitchers want to throw meatballs and just grease it to people to give up home runs. I don't think you'll see a lot of that this weekend.
I'll tell you what, we had ourselves a day yesterday with the calls, right? Like we had a day, but everybody remembers the last crazy call of the day was from Tony Ann, who wanted to invite me to her wedding, right?
Yes. I
got messages after the fact, one from her husband, or husband-to-be, I guess, fiance, who said he was with the baby while he heard the call, and he said that he was in tears laughing, like at the whole thing. But then another guy who's in media, who knows the family, also said that it was like just they really are genuine. Like this isn't some lunatic that, everybody that was telling me if you go to this thing, you might not ever come back. He was like vouching for the family. Like, no, they're great people.
They will not kill you.
You will survive. You might have a good time.
I never thought of Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
No, you had to see some people that were tweeting me like, "You'll never come back. Don't go. You'll never come back." I thought it sounded like something that could be a lot of fun. Unfortunately, it's not going to work out. Cali has hockey, but it's not in that area. So,
aw,
yeah.
Well, send a gift.
I probably will once I get the invitation.
That's a good idea. We should all send a gift. They seem like nice people.
They actually, I can say they definitely seem like really nice people.
Well, we're nice people because we're going to be talking sports until 6:30. Then it's Mets Marlins here on ESPN. So let's get them on board. 1-800-919-3776. Fraud Alert Friday at 4:30. We've got our picks at 5:45. ENN at 6. It's a big day on Don, Hahn, and Rosenberg on ESPN New York. There are lots of reasons why people buy at Ramsey Mazda. It's their selection, it's their customer service, and it's their savings. Lease a new 25 Mazda CX-30 for $199 for 33 months. Start shopping now at RamseyMazda.com. Choose wisely. Choose Ramsey Mazda. Call 833-853-2970 for details. VIN SM843629. MSRP $26,865. Zero security deposit. Ends 9/30/25.
That's the ease at which you get information. You want it, you get it. Like that. Ask your phone, group chat, smartphone. You're always connected and informed in real time. No waiting. So if you're diabetic and still using finger sticks to read your blood sugar, what are you waiting for? Knowing your blood sugar levels instantly is important for managing diabetes. Call US Med at 888-665-0696. To learn more about continuous glucose monitors, a real-time instant method to track your blood glucose, US Med is an approved provider for Medicare and over 1,000 private insurers. And the best part? Call 888-665-0696 and we'll give you a free insurance benefits check today. So call 888-665-0696 today. That's 888-665-0696 and manage your diabetes as easy as...
Listen up, New York. It's football season, and you should be out there enjoying every play, every tailgate, every moment. But if you're dealing with neck pain, back pain, joint pain, or sciatica, even getting off the couch can feel like a challenge. That's where Dr. J. Shaw at Sandwell Pain comes in. He's one of New Jersey's top pain specialists, Ivy League trained, double board certified, and dedicated to getting you back in the game. Here's the difference. No surgery, no scars, no long recovery, no pain medication. Just precise, non-surgical, image-guided procedures that get real results. Dr. Shaw treats everything from neck pain, back pain, migraines, nerve pain, and chronic joint pain. And he builds a custom game plan that's right for you. Same day or next day appointments are available with offices in Woodbridge, Livingston, and Inglewood. And yes, most major insurances are accepted. So don't let pain keep you on the sidelines this season. Go to SandwellPain.com to call, text, or book online. Relief is closer than you think, and it starts today.
And now let's take a look at the traffic with Brandy Scott.
Hey there, guys. Happy Friday, but not a happy ride. Over in Nassau County, President Trump just left Bethpage State Park, leaving the Ryder Cup golf tournament not too long ago. Southern State just reopened eastbound between Bethpage and 109. Still a bumper-to-bumper ride there from the Wantagh. Still have lots of closures on 109 and 110 by Republic Airport in Farmingdale. Heading over to the outbound Georgia, no easy way to do it. Not even the Henry Hudson going to help you out. Inbound Georgia, about 15 to 20 with roadwork on the upper deck. Outbound Lincoln already about 15 to 20 minutes. Outbound Helen already a 20 to 30 minute ride. This report is sponsored by ParkWiz. New Yorkers know the hacks, and here's one for parking. Reserve ahead and pay up to 50% less than drive-up rates. With ParkWiz, you could book your parking in advance, skip the hassle of searching, and save every time. Download the ParkWiz app today. I'm Brandy Scott on 880 ESPN New York.
NFL Sunday's coming. You got your crew, you got your couch, your snacks, your slate, and FanDuel is coming in with something extra. This isn't just another NFL Sunday. It's your chance to place that perfect parlay or hit your go-to player prop. And now we're making it even better because this week FanDuel's bringing the bonus. That's right. Right now, all customers can get a 50% profit boost on any NFL bet. However you play your game, FanDuel's got your back with something extra in your account because that's what Sunday should feel like. Visit FanDuel.com/Peter to download the app and get in on the action before kickoff. This week, FanDuel's bringing the bonus. Right now, all customers can get a 50% profit boost on any NFL bet. However you play your game, FanDuel's got your back with something extra in your account because that's what Sunday should feel like. 21 and over and physically present in New York. Opt-in required. Bonus issues, non-withdrawable profit boost tokens. Restrictions apply, including any token expiration and max wager amount. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. For help with the gambling problem, call 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY 467-369.
Actual price will depend on product and subscription plan. Featured products are compounded drug products, which the FDA does not approve or verify for safety, effectiveness, or quality. Prescription products require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. See website for details, restrictions, and important safety information.
Want a boost in and out of the bedroom? Hims has you covered. Introducing a new 2-in-1 approach to level up your game. Tadalafil for better bedroom performance and zinc for testosterone support. Put it all together and you've got what you need to turn things all the way up. Getting started is simple. Just go to hims.com/joy to start your free online visit. Through Hims, you can access ED treatments including pills, chews, and more. 100% online. No office visits, no pharmacy lines. Just fill out a simple intake form and a licensed medical provider will determine if treatment's right for you. If prescribed, it ships free and discreetly to your door. Find affordable treatment options at up to 95% less than brand names at hims.com/joy. That's hims.com/joy, HIMS.com/JOY.
Shop great new offers at Bay Ridge Mazda. Lease the 2025 Mazda CX-5S for as low as $239 per month or finance for 2.9% APR for 36 months. They will take any trade-in and accept all lease returns, even if you didn't lease with them. Plus, enjoy Bay Ridge Plus benefits like ding and dent coverage, key replacement, windshield protection, and roadside assistance, all included. Visit them in Brooklyn or online at BayRidgeMazda.com. Bay Ridge Mazda, where confidence comes standard. See dealer for details.
Welcome back to Don, Hahn, and Rosenberg with you until 6:30. Then it's Mets and Marlins. Yankees also going to be playing tonight, so we got lots going on. Football, we'll get to the football. We've got Fraud Alert Friday coming up at 4:30. We're looking forward to that. And we also have, guys, ENN at 6 and our picks at 5:45, which we don't have very many picks to make. I've already locked in my 3 and my 2-point play. My Packers and Jets. Packers 3-point play.
Yep.
Jets 2-point play.
Locked
Peter's
in.
3-point play is already
done. In.
Wow.
Cash.
So really, it's going to be the Allen show.
When is it ever that? Like you already called one of mine, which you got wrong. So I'll reveal them. But why? But Peter, you're noticing Don is speaking like ominously today. He's putting in these pregnant pauses, as if it's like leaving you on the edge of your seat, like the Mets and the Marlins pause. Like he's leaving you hang for a second.
You never know what's next.
Something about his
or am I just
delivery
trying
today.
to punch up teams? It could be either one.
Like the delivery, man, is like
Or
I'm like, where's he going with this?
Or is he just trying to make technology work at the same time?
I'm just trying
in
to make
a world
because
where the Mets
I'm telling you, I'm having
the Marlins.
I'm having camera problems, and now I finally got because whatever happens, I tried the iPad as the camera, and now I'm using the phone. The phone's the better, but the volume, I couldn't turn the volume all the way down, man. I don't know what it is about these phones.
You got to put headphones on it.
The only way to do it is to have your iPad or phone connected to headphones and then
just
turn the volume
down. Yeah.
It's a ridiculous flaw with all of these things. It's Zoom, it's StreamYard, they all do not allow you to turn the volume completely down.
Right.
It's ridiculous.
Well, we're back and we're better than ever.
Are we?
Oh,
but
there's a
since I'm still troubling to get my call screener up, Alan, why don't you tell us who our next call is going to be? How about that?
Well, let's see. How about we go? We start off with Anthony and Hopewell. We'll go with some positivity at the beginning.
Here we go. I love this.
Hey, guys. I just wanted to call and apologize for my horrible call yesterday.
I appreciate this.
I called about Yankee fan not hating the Mets. But, you know, I went home. I had dinner, took a shower, sobered up. And as I was staring at my ceiling, I'm laying on my bed staring at the ceiling, I realized, Don, you're right. I do hate the Mets. I absolutely can't stand them. And I think it got exonerated more so when Juan Soto chose to go to the Mets instead of the Yankees. And then those clowns on the other station hooting and hollering, we're going to the World Series with the Mets. It pisses me off. But thank you, Don. You helped me realize it, and hopefully I'm going to be a better person for it.
You know, I've been going back and forth with some people on social media that think that I don't want Judge to win because I'm a Met fan, or the fact that I even think that the MVP race is close means that I'm really a Met fan. I don't have a vote, and it shouldn't matter to me or to you because Yankee fans who so desperately want Judge to win the MVP are going to use it against him if they don't win the World Series and he bats 200 again. But whatever. But I've always said, I've been consistent about this, Peter, throughout my entire years on the air. You're supposed to hate the other team in the market. Supposed to. So that doesn't make me a Met fan to say I think Yankee fans hate the Met. You're supposed to. And I just think you're in denial if you think you ignore them. Why would you ignore them? I'm not saying you're hate watching, but you say I don't care if they blow the division. No, you do. Why wouldn't you? Isn't it just human nature to see the other guy in town fail while you succeed? Isn't that logical?
Hate? You'd have to have an emotion. You'd have to care. Like, I'll quote Derek Jeter. They're just the Mets. Like, I want to see the Red Sox lose.
No, because he plays, man.
I don't
That's
care.
why. He plays because
What's the
he's not a
difference?
fan.
No, but it's not about...
No,
Dude,
I don't care. I'm telling you. You're
I
wrong
don't
on
care.
this.
I'm wrong about how I feel. Please
Yes.
tell me how I feel, Don.
Yes.
Tell me how I feel.
No,
You
because I'm
feel wrong.
Because I believe when you
Clearly
say I ignore the Mets, they mean nothing to me, is your way of saying I hate them.
Okay.
But you don't want to admit that you hate them, so you just say, I ignore them. I don't care about them.
Well,
I don't believe you.
why
I
would
don't believe you when you say that.
I admitted to you that it's the Red Sox that, like, that emits the hate. That is the one that if things go bad for them, I'm like, a little part of me is like, that petty part of me is like, yeah, good.
And that makes sense because they're in your division.
Them, the Astros, a little bit of the Dodgers, like those are the ones that, look, when I was in my days as a fan, the team that I would hate, well, that's easy. That was the Rangers. That was the Pacers and the Bulls. Like, that's what. Then I didn't hate the Nets. I didn't care. There was no real impact.
The Nets are harmless to you for the most
part. So
they don't even count, do they?
They've got
the Mets are harmless.
See, this is why I disagree with you.
Like,
okay? I don't like to throw out you.
If the Mets make the wild card, I'll be like, great. Like, if they don't, okay. Like, it doesn't do anything for me. I'm being honest with you.
Okay. All right.
It's the same way I feel about the Giants. I don't get happy if things go wrong for the Giants. I don't care.
But
it's one way or another. Okay,
and you're not saying that as a diss either.
I'm
but
being honest.
You know what's different about you, Alan, than I think. I take it back. I think you genuinely do feel that way because I've never sensed that you've even brought it up in conversation. But when you call a radio show to explicitly say, I don't pay attention to the Mets, that's another way of saying I hate them. Like, if you ignore them, then what are you even thinking about it? Why are they even on your mind? How are you even paying attention? When you call up, it's like, I don't care. I don't even think about the Mets. Well, why'd you call to bring that up? Unless you're using that as saying, I hate you so much. You're so insignificant. I've got to stick it to you by you're so off the radar that I don't pay attention to you. When you do that,
by telling
it tells
you
me that you really do hate them.
Yeah.
But Alan, I've known you for 25. I've never heard you say an ill thing about the Mets. You honestly do feel like a guy that doesn't care about the Mets, and because
my whole
you do a
family
talk
are
show,
Mets fans, so I don't
right,
really
so I take
have any
back.
animosity.
Plus, I know you. I got mad at Michael one time for saying you're wrong. I was just being performative. I apologize, but I do believe a lot of the people that will tweet and say I don't even care about the Mets or call out. If you really didn't care about them, you'd be talking about your team, not even bringing them up, which you do, and you bring them up. I'm saying from a fan standpoint, not a talk shows, because you got to talk about
it's actually
to do a show.
Is a weird way about it. Call me a fraud. It's Fraud Friday. There's a part of me that does root a little for what's best for the show. Like, what's the best story for the show?
You can't help it. It starts to happen.
I can't help it. Like, a tailspin, almost you go like, boy, this would be great. Like, if this gets worse, it's actually better for us. That's a real thing, but that's a selfish thing.
It's
that you start
selfish.
to root for the story, and it's a bit of a fraud. Like, because, again, once you get into this business, and Don, you've explained this many times to people, but once you get into this business, it's really hard to be a fan because a lot of times you're rooting for your story. What's the best
you're rooting
thing for
you.
us?
Like Michael always said, you're rooting for you.
Yeah. You root for extra playoff series because that's extra money. It's a real
and listen,
thing.
The way this football season feels like it's going to go, we've got a ways to go before we're going to be able to talk any real basketball. Yeah, I can understand where you'd want to see the other team do well. But I think a lot of the people say the Mets don't matter to me. I think that's just a way of disrespecting them because you hate them. And why can't you just admit that?
Yeah, which is that part's weird, but
and I should say hate them. Hate
people,
the true hatred though is like a team that has been such a thorn in your side. Again,
or dominates you.
The Miami Heat, like there's just teams that. Like that, the Dolphins.
The Houston.
God,
Astros.
I'll never get over the mud. Like, hate the Dolphins. Hate them. Nothing redeemable about them or the franchise. Nothing. We met Marino. Bart and I had Marino on the show. He hung out with us. What a great guy. But inside, I'm just like steaming. Like, just all that stuff. Like, you just nice guy, but no. If he said to me, I want to be best friends with you, let's go play golf, I'd be like, no, I'm all set.
Isn't it funny? Isn't it funny the things that last like a really long time?
Listen, Monday Night Football, those games.
No,
I sit here. I got to tell you guys, and by the way, obviously I understand you're not alone, Alan. Like, to me, it's crazy because I can't even remember the Jets being good enough to have a rival. But I understand for normal.
It was the 80s.
I understand for the 80s Jets fan. Of course, it's Miami. I totally get it.
Yeah.
It's funny for me though, which teams I can have a hatred for and which ones I don't. I am watching, and we haven't even given this enough time. Honestly, I could do an hour on it every day. the downfall and the embarrassment of Bill Belichick is one of the craziest things we have ever seen. Every weekend a photo comes out with his girlfriend in high heels standing on the field while this old decrepit yo-yo who could have gone off into the sunset as the greatest who ever did it looks like a foolish bum in front of everyone. I mean, it is so embarrassing. Like, how do you tell the whole world I've never really gotten any in my entire life like this, except I'm going to throw away my legacy at North Carolina? It is so horrible. And guys, I have no team rivalry, and yet because of the way the 16-0 Patriots, the 18-1 Patriots beat my team 52-7 and kept Brady in, I will never let go of it. I want Belichick. I want it to keep happening week after week after week. It's just so funny the way our sports hatred works. You never know the thing that happens.
Yeah, what you are feeling is how I feel about Don Shula, and how everybody, like, I want to throw up my mouth every time people talk, what a legendary coach Don Shula. Like, give me I just get so fed up and so pissed off because of the mud ball. And knowing his role in ruining that field and how the league allowed it for a championship game. We're going to be like, yeah, don't worry about it. Don't have to put the tarp on. I know it's a deluge. We're only in South Florida. It doesn't rain that much, right?
We should be fine.
Are you crazy? But this is what they allowed this man to do. So I have to live with that every time people have to just wax poetic about Don Shula.
Well, I'm sorry. I'm sorry for you, Alan, that you didn't get to see Don Shula date a 22-year-old and go coach at Virginia Tech. Okay? He just faded off into the sunset as an absolute legend.
Yeah. Makes it worse, doesn't it?
Oh, much.
More of your calls. A lot of people want to climb aboard on this. 1-800-919-3776. Don, Hahn, and Rosenberg until 6:30. Then it's Mets baseball on ESPN New York.
We are proud to serve our country, to serve our local communities, to wear the uniform, to be a soldier, to serve abroad when and where duty calls. We are ready to stand with our brothers and sisters to defend, to serve, to fight. We're always ready. We're always there. We are the New York Army National Guard.
Sponsored by the New York Army National Guard.
If you've been injured on a construction site, then you need a lawyer who knows New York's unique labor laws. At the Parisman Firm, they have decades of experience handling construction accident cases and a proven track record of delivering huge results. Their team has already recovered nearly $1 billion for hardworking New Yorkers. From scaffold accidents to slip and falls and equipment failures, they've got your back. Call the Parisman Firm now at 718-WORKERS. That's right, 718-WORKERS, because your case is their cause. Get the justice you deserve today.
Schweppes, the iconic ginger ale of New York, is proud to sponsor the PGA of America. Schweppes has a deep lineup of ginger flavors, including raspberry, white peach, dry grape, and also available in zero sugar. With every sip of Schweppes, the dedication to quality, excellence, and the art of tastefulness will leave you feeling simply refreshed. It's a hole-in-one for all your drinking occasions. Schweppes, a sparkling tradition since 1783, and the perfect way to elevate your summer. Swing by your local ShopRite and grab some Schweppes.
At Garden City Mazda, discover more about what moves you.
Our fall kickoff savings start now. Don't miss out.
Our inventory of new and Mazda certified pre-owned vehicles is unmatched in New York.
Embrace every unexpected turn with the new 2025 Mazda lineup. Refined performance. Spacious interiors to fit your life. Elevate your driving experience.
Garden City Mazda. Exhilaration at every turn, exceptional in every way.
The post-career day press conference, brought to you by Progressive.
Anthony, can you tell us what happened during career day?
I'm a biomedical researcher. The kids just weren't impressed.
How did you feel when your son called in the backup?
Embarrassed, and I knew it would be a fireman. It's always a fireman. It's cliche, but a crowd favorite. He had an axe and everything. I can't compete with that.
And will the fireman be helping your son with his science fair project?
Hope not. I'm literally a scientist.
Like it or not, sometimes you need a backup. That's why there's Progressive to protect your home and auto. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company affiliates and other insurers. Not available in all states or situations.
From kickoff to cash out, ESPN Bet has the tools you need to score more on game days. Bet smarter with stats at your fingertips. Get personalized parlays built just for you. And with your fantasy team synced right in the app, you can back your squad. Right now, new customers get $100 in bonus bets when you bet $10. Sign up with promo code USL to get started. Must be 21 plus. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Terms and conditions apply. See app for details. Offer not available in New York. From kickoff to cash out, ESPN Bet has the tools you need to score more on game days. Bet smarter with stats at your fingertips. Get personalized parlays built just for you. And with your fantasy team synced right in the app, you can back your squad. Right now, new customers get $100 in bonus bets when you bet $10. Sign up with promo code USL to get started. Must be 21 plus. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Terms and conditions apply. See app for details. Offer not available in New York.
Coach Saban here, and let me tell you, every second matters. Preparation is everything, and that's why I trust Kidde Smoke Alarms.
And as North America's #1 home fire safety brand, they're built to respond over 25% faster to smoke detection. Kidde helps protect what matters the most. Find it at the Home Depot. How doers get more done. #1 claim based on total household installations as of December 2023. 29% faster average smoke detection based on internal testing of smoldering wood fires for Kidde 9th edition versus leading competitor 8th edition products.
From the regular season to the Super Bowl, ESPN New York is your destination for football. We've got crazy fans.
If the Giants somehow beat the Cowboys, I'm going to take a dump on your head.
You can feel good because you're a damn football team.
Expert analysis.
Marcus Spears joins us now. ESPN NFL analyst Damian Woody.
Mel Kiper Jr.
The Hall of Famer Steve Young.
He's kind of our resident general manager, Louis Riddick.
We got Mike Tannenbaum right now.
And all your fantasy and wagering needs. This is ESPN New York. We are football. The ESPN New York Couch Cast is coming.
I just didn't feel like physically getting off the couch.
Don't miss this live stream event with your favorite ESPN New York personalities, including Dave Rothenberg.
Is football season here yet?
Rick DiPietro, Chris Carlin, Michael Kay. Oh, football. And Don Hahn and Rosenberg.
They're playing football!
It all happens September 29th when the Jets face the Dolphins on Monday Night Football. Watch the guys' instant reactions and hear their unfiltered commentary all game long.
You're bad at football.
See it all unfold on the ESPN New York YouTube channel.
I'm just trying to have the best possible show.
When does that start?
The ESPN New York Couchcast is brought to you by the All-American Ford Auto Group, Calandra's Bakery, and Jacob's Pickles.
ESPN New York is now streaming on YouTube. Catch all of your favorite shows, DiPietro and Rothenberg, Bart and Carlin, The Michael Kay Show, and Don Hahn and Rosenberg with live video every weekday. Watch, chat, and join the conversation only on YouTube. Subscribe to ESPN New York on YouTube today and never miss a moment. Don Hahn and Rosenberg with you. Take your calls at 1-800-919-3776. Talking a little Mets, talking a little Yankees, talking a little hatred, which is always fun. Why not get into that? Sports hatred.
Is. You know what, Don? We got a good tweet here to read about this topic. Manny said, I don't hate the Mets. I hate Mets fans.
Well, it's the same thing.
He said the reason is one or two wins strung together, and they stick out their weak chess pieces like they own New York City.
Well, see, that's what I'm talking about.
Yes.
You know, we're not talking about hating the – sometimes you do hate the individual players or a coach or something. That's different, of course. But honestly – like, I hated the Dallas Cowboys growing up, but was there anything to hate about Tom Landry and Roger Staubach and Tony Dorsett? They seem like really good guys. Now, the other iteration of America's team, they were very hateable. Michael Irvin, Emmitt Smith, Jimmy Johnson, they were very hateable. But you just hated the Cowboys. You hated the team. You hated their fans. So that's what we're talking about. If you're somebody that hey, I think the Mets are pretty likable. I don't think there's any bad guy. Maybe you hate Soto because he chose to go to the Mets. But if you hate the fans and they're barking and they're chirping after they got Soto, or if they go farther than the Yankees, it coming down to whether it's hate or not, Alan, you're rooting against the Mets for a reason. Whether it's hatred for the fans, for the team, for whatever.
You want to stick it to the fans, right?
You are rooting against them. You want to see them crash and burn. So we can get into the semantics of hating players or why. Fact is, I don't buy Yankee fans not rooting against the Mets. It just makes sense. You'd want to stick it to Soto, of course, right? Wouldn't you want the whole baseball landscape to yourself?
Mm-hmm.
Do you want every time we talk baseball, we also got to talk about the Mets, and it just takes some of the shine away? Like, wouldn't human nature be, I want the Yankees to own the town. I don't want to talk about anything else about my team. So whatever the reason, guys, can we at least just give it the phrase that if you're a Yankee fan, in all likelihood, unless you're Allen, the majority of people are rooting against the Mets, and vice versa.
But I do think, again, we've been over this year after year. I think you'd be disappointed and surprised with how many people don't care.
Right, and if they don't care, I think the majority of those people, I'd have to question how diehard a fan you are. If you could very easily pivot in a year like this, say the Yankees lose in the wild card and the Mets make a run, I got to question your Yankee fandom if you're now rooting for Juan Soto and the Mets.
Well, that's different.
Whoa.
Turning and rooting for them is different than not caring.
That's a completely different conversation that we're having. Peter, I am trying to scrunch down as best I can, by the way.
Well, because you're just absurdly tall.
I don't know how much. Is that better?
You're getting there.
Does that look better? It's not good for
You're
posture.
right, basically there now.
If Allen was in college, right, and they had a sit-in, like if they were protesting the teachers at the university and they had a sit-in, they'd have to keep saying, please, Allen, sit.
Yeah.
No, I'm sitting.
Yeah.
Will you stop standing, sir?
No, you did pretty
this
good
is a
now.
sit-in.
We now look pretty. Now we basically look like we're all on the same level. Took us a while.
Okay.
Don was about 40 feet away.
You guys
now
are
he's
so
close
great.
enough. You're
By the
low
way,
enough.
It's all
We're in
working
business.
out now.
You're
Here we
so
go.
great at making me
All
feel like a freak, so I really appreciate it.
No, listen. There's no bigger freak that I know.
Let's go to Al in the Bronx.
I've been called worse.
You're on Don La Rosenberg. What's up, buddy?
Happy Friday, gentlemen.
What's up?
All right, so Don. There are no true rivalries in New York sports except for the hockey teams. You have to cost somebody something in order to hate them. As a Yankee fan for 42 years, what the heck would I hate the Mets for? The only time that the Mets ever took anything from me was Juan Soto, and by the time he got those numbers on that contract, I didn't want him either.
So when they played in the World Series in 2000, you're old enough to
remember
now you can
that,
take
right?
something.
42 years I've been a Yankee fan, but that's different because you can take something from me. But as for 42 years, the Mets, when 86, I was like 12 or 13 years old. I didn't care. I kind of rooted for Mets against Boston because it was Boston. But no, there's no hate there. They don't take anything from each other. They're not playing in the same division. I could understand a Mets fan hating a Yankee fan.
Would you be happy if they lost?
In the past, no, I'm not. I'm not happy. This year is different because they took Juan Soto and we had to hear the crap. But in the prior years, I'm a New Yorker. I'm not going to cheer for people in L.A. can't stand New York. I'm not going to cheer for the Dodgers to beat the Mets. It makes no sense to me. Now, if the Mets and the Yankees play in the same division, there will be massive hate.
No, I get that. But you're telling me you'd be okay. Yankees lose in the first round. Mets go on a run to a championship. You wouldn't care? It wouldn't bother you?
No. You know why I wouldn't? Well,
you
now
just said
it would
the fans.
because they have Juan Soto.
Wait a minute,
this year
Al.
is different. This year, I'll agree. This year is different.
Okay, well,
but the honest truth is,
but
if the honest truth is, I wouldn't. I'd like. Well, why would I care? I'm a Yankee fan. I could understand Mets fans hating Yankee fans, but I've experienced 7 championships in my lifetime.
Well, listen,
6
I can't tell you how to
championships,
feel. I mean, you're not. If that's how you feel, I'm just saying that you already said you were irritated by the Met fans sticking out their chest that they got Soto. You don't think they're going to stick out their chest if they win a championship? That they're all going to be coming out of the woodwork now talking about how they've been Met fans their entire lives? Like, that's what would irritate me. Like, if I were a Yankee fan and all of a sudden I've got to deal with Met fans getting strong because the team's all of a sudden good, and I would be like, I don't want that.
Do you realize how many times that me, you, and Michael have had this conversation? And you and Michael, depending where the conversation goes, often, Alan, you've probably heard it before too, will get like very animated and almost angry that the people don't feel. And you'd say, but they're going to rub it in your face. And you sort of push your childhood scenario onto them. But we live in an era now where, Don, there's so many different people who root for it. It's just not. It's not the same. Just not.
It may not be the same, and maybe I am coming from a place growing up in North Jersey, having nothing but Yankee fans around me. That maybe you live in the Bronx and you don't know any Met fans, so it's not a big deal. But I just think, and I'm not, do whatever you want to do. I'm going to get off that whole you have to. I just won't do it. I think it's fraudulent behavior if you root for both teams or whatever. But I just think a lot of times, maybe not Al's case, certainly not Allen's case, that when they say they don't care about the Mets, I think they actually do. And the same goes for Met fans. I don't care about the. I think you do. Don, I think you're in denial.
See, I'm going to start trouble.
Please,
we should probably take calls because this is a half-hour podcast. Me and you doing this because I think you're revealing a lot about how you feel, and you are almost projecting it on everybody else like you're supposed to feel like that. It's the idea of this is how you're supposed to fan. Like you're giving us the rule book, and I'm telling you, you're the only one that follows that Constitution. Nobody else does.
Because even Al, who followed
your rule book, but it's more about the attitudes of fans and how fans talk and the interaction. And you're right. If you're in a world that you don't interact with obnoxious other fans of other teams in this city, then you don't even know them. You don't even deal with it. And on social media, that's where you you kind of laugh at, like what the one tweet said. You get a couple of wins, and now you stick your chest out like you're going to take over the town. That's something that you see, and it's just for a minute. But I don't dwell on that. Like, what did I just tell you? I'm more concerned with thinking about how did the Yankees – what was the one game the Yankees didn't win that now is going to cost them this division versus – oh, good. The Mets might not make it.
I'm not saying
now I can brag about
obsessed with it. People can multitask. But even Al said he doesn't pay them at every. You listen to the little code things he said. They stuck their chest out. Like right there, just the little. They're the little brother. Like how dare they stick their chest out that they got one? So you could hear.
Well,
all I'm saying is,
you're
I'm
the
not
guy
saying
that
it's first
said
in your mind.
Every time your team's good, it's because of some magic run, and you're tired of it. That you want a run of consistency. And so I'm sorry if the other side that all they know is consistency to a point where it's boring looks at you when you get the one magic run.
There it is.
Go
Alan.
like,
see, that's why I don't completely
buy
what you're saying,
right?
Because you love getting those digs in. Because you love why would you get the digs in? If we don't matter and
reality.
You don't care, then why do you get the little digs in? Because we win so much, it's almost boring.
I knew this was dark.
Peter, don't you hear it? Again, he's not obsessed with it. It's not first in his mind.
Lie? Where's the lie?
He's got to get the little dig.
I'm using
so if
your
we
words
don't
against
matter,
you.
if you don't care, then why do you give the little dig? Why?
Because I'm trying to explain it to you because you keep telling me I'm supposed to be angry. I'm supposed to hate the team. And I'm telling you I don't.
I'm not telling you anything
but I'm using
other
your
than
words against
the reality of you do. I'm not telling you you're supposed to. I'm telling you that you do. And I can hear in the little words you say and the little words that Al said, I don't care about the Mets, but they got Soto, so they stuck their chest out. It's like, Peter Bay doesn't want to get involved.
No, I do. The fact is, it's both sides.
I'm just saying,
Mets fans seem a little bit obsessed with it, as evidenced by your argument that people should be actively rooting against each other.
Don't be scared.
And Allen, and the fact is, Yankees care about it less because they've always been better.
Of course.
Yeah.
That's just how it is.
But
they care, but less.
Of course, but they still
That's
care. To say they don't care.
No, they're lying if they say they don't care.
That's what I'm saying.
But remember,
here's why I can
now
go.
Still,
Peter.
Now he has to break.
Well, we will, because on the other side, we got a lot more to do. We have tons of calls, but on the other side, I will explain why
now it
I
doesn't
can
matter.
relate to
now
this in the reverse.
Already blew through it. What does it matter?
Don't take slow for an answer. Not so easy when you're stuck in traffic. But mere inches from someone else's bumper, you can dream of faster things. Like Optimum Fiber, the fastest and most reliable fiber internet, starting at $40 a month. So while you can't always switch lanes for a faster route, you can switch providers for a faster connection. Optimum. Don't take slow for an answer. Call 888-4OPTIMUM or visit Optimum.com/fiber today. Terms apply. See Optimum.com for details.
Friends, it's football season, the best time of the year. You should be out there tailgating, cheering on your team, and enjoying every Sunday. But if you're dealing with neck pain, back pain, sciatica, or nerve pain, even getting off the couch can feel like a challenge. You don't have to live like that. There's help. Dr. Jay Shaw at Sandwell Pain is New Jersey's top pain specialist. He's Ivy League trained, double board certified, and is dedicated to helping you get back in the game. Here's what makes the difference. No surgery, no scars, no long recovery, no pain medication. Just precise, non-surgical image-guided procedures that deliver real results. Dr. Shaw treats neck pain, back pain, joint pain, migraines, nerve pain, and sciatica with a plan that's customized for you. Same-day and next-day appointments are available, and with offices in Woodbridge, Livingston, and Inglewood, relief is always close. So don't let pain keep you on the sidelines this season. Visit SandwellPain.com to call, text, or book online. Most major insurances are accepted. That's SandwellPain.com. Relief is closer than you think, and it starts today.
Right now at Bay Ridge Honda, your EV countdown to $7,500 in savings ends September 30th. Hurry in, the clock is ticking. You can get a Prologue Touring for $179 per month with zero down during the EV Countdown sales event. Plus, receive thousands in benefits and savings with their Bay Ridge Plus Advantage plan. Upfront pricing, total peace of mind. Visit BayRidgeHonda.com. 36 months lease, 10,000 miles per year, 3,300 loyalty or conquest, and $7,500 EV credit as down payment.
Now that I'm a dad, I can't stop thinking about what would happen to my kids if something happened to me, like losing the house or not affording college.
Yeah, that used to keep me up at night too. It's why I finally got life insurance from Ethos. It's 100% online. No medical exams, just a few health questions. I got $2 million in coverage for around $2 a day.
I never realized it was that simple. Get your free quote at ethos.com/game. That's ethos.com/game.
Rates may vary. Bill monthly. Sample rate 10-year term life policy for a 35-year-old healthy non-smoking male.
Dive into the Marvel Universe on the official Marvel Podcast with the stars of the MCU.
Everybody's going to be talking about whether we're casting for this character.
The creators of Marvel Comics.
Spider-Man is the greatest fictional character in history.
And Marvel Studios' Kevin Feige.
But if you want the real answer, if we're trying to get real on this podcast,
giving you exclusive access to Marvel's adventures like never before. The official Marvel Podcast. New episodes every Wednesday wherever you listen to podcasts.
Put it in the box! This is your radio home for New York Mets baseball. 880 ESPN, WHSQ, and WCBS FM HD2, New York.
Game time is brought to you by Tullamore Dew Irish Whiskey, because when it's game time, fellas.
I like when he holds it.
Mets start their final series of the regular season in Miami with the Marlins. That coverage immediately follows us on 880 at 6:30. Yankees and the O's start a series at 7:05. Devils Islanders preseason hockey action at UBS at 7. Tullamore Dew, the original triple distilled, triple blended, and triple cast matured Irish whiskey. Be sure to grab a Tullamore Dew or try the new Tullamore Dew Honey during today's action. Glasses up to enjoying Tullamore Dew responsibly. Now, I was on the other side because I don't know what it's like to dominate on the baseball side. But I do know from being a Giant fan growing up, a lot better than the Jets, more championships than the Jets.
Also,
I still rooted against the Jets. Even though they were the little brother, I never said, well, I don't pay any attention to the Jets. But
they don't play each other enough.
Yeah, I don't understand that.
Why does it matter?
Because I want to own the town. I want all the attention to be on me. I want my team to be better than the other team.
Well,
when my team stinks and their team's great, that bothers me, because not only is my team not good, there's another team in town that's getting more attention and winning. So that bothers maybe that reveals something in my soul.
Clearly.
But and then Jet fans that I would go to school with would say, "Oh, well, my team's better than your team. Your team." I didn't want to deal with that.
Don, we did a very good job making sure you didn't have to do that a lot. Okay,
right.
So you're welcome. I will give you the more the other part of it for me. Like when you think about the big brother, little brother thing and all that. One of my teams growing up was the Islanders, and I went through one of the greatest. I mean, Peter, you can't even fathom what 5 consecutive years going to the finals feels like. It's
I can't.
You get to a point where it's expected. It's an amazing high as a fan. Like in the midst of that, the second cup, you're like, third's in the bag. Like you knew they were winning the third. The fourth even was like, yeah, they're probably getting it.
It's an insane thing that you went through. That you lived through.
Unbelievable. And in a wheelhouse for me, the age to be a fan, I was from 9 years old to 12 years. Like
Couldn't
it was
be better.
just an incredible run. So throughout that whole time, you would think, right? Own the town, own everything, the best team. Nope. There was always this feeling that it was still not as great as whatever and the Rangers had good teams then, not great, but they were good. But it never felt enough. And it never felt like they still got all the attention. They still got more coverage. Everything they did was still considered bigger. And now when you look back, that dynasty's never given any credit in the history of the sport. They show you everybody else but them every time there's a montage of Stanley Cup championships or history of the sport. You rarely see the Islander crest. And it really does still bother me to this day because that was one of my teams growing up. But that's a reality. So you're always comparing yourself to them. And so that I felt that. And so when the Rangers had any success, it would bother me. Wins against them felt 10 times better than even beating the Oilers, who were the best team in the league at that time. So that's the feeling from the other side. That's what it felt like. But the difference is the Rangers fans had to live through the fact that the little brother was kicking everybody's ass for 5 years, and there was nothing they could say or do about it. But since then, everything went back into place, and it's never been the same since. But that's what I mean, Don. Like, I think, and I'm not trying to say this as a way to belittle or to patronize or pat you on the head, but I still think there's that sense from the Mets side of no matter what we do, it's still never going to live up to whatever the Yankees are because the Yankees are a behemoth when it comes to a brand that you can't overcome. That's how I felt from the Islander side growing up.
But a person of a certain age can remember the 80s when the Mets did overtake it.
For a minute.
And did outdraw the Yankees. And were the more important team.
Right.
That obviously anybody under 40 can't even conceive that, and I'm not even saying it's going to happen again. But there was a time. That's why I think of the other teams in the market, the one that's closest to the big boy. I think the Mets are closer to the Yankees than I think anybody else. Jets to the Giants, and then everybody else. It's blatantly obvious.
You mean fan base split?
Just from a fan base split.
Completely agree.
So, and it's still a fair distance between the two, but there was never a moment where it was reversed the way it was in the mid '80s, where it did. And those Yankee teams were pretty good.
Well, the town tipped in the early '70s because that's when the Yankees really fell off, right?
Yeah, and the Mets were going to the World one in '69.
And it was a different culture at the time, and the Mets were more that counterculture kind of team.
And also the Mets had a head start because they also had two fan bases become one in the Dodgers and the Giants.
National League fans.
So that gave them a bit of a head start as opposed to all the other expansion teams or merger teams that came after that. All right, busy phones. Let's go to Anthony in the Bronx. You're on ESPN. What's up, Anthony?
What's up, fellas? Listen, I agree with Alan. As a Yankee fan, even when we lost, and I said this to you before, Don, you can't tell fans how to feel because you feel one way. That doesn't mean the fans. And I told you this before. Being a guy that was used 7 championships, and when we lost Soto, I wasn't mad because I said life moves on, and we did move on. And we got a good young team now. We got 3 or 4 young pitchers that's pitching well. We got Smith coming back next year. We got Jazz, who can be a better player if he plays the game more with his head instead of his emotions. He's got a chance to be a Sandy Alomar type player. I mean, the Yankees are looking good right now. So I don't think about the Mets. And this is real talk, gentlemen. When we beat the Mets during the season, I don't go bragging about we beat the Mets.
Right.
I'm upset when the Mets beat us because the Mets fans start bragging. But when we beat the Mets, I don't go bragging, Don, about, oh, yeah, we beat the Mets because we on a different level. We won 27 championships. The Mets won 2 championships.
But that shouldn't matter in a given moment, right? I mean, going into this season, they were kind of on the same. That's why the Mets season is so disappointing. But, the fact that you won 27 championships shouldn't be relevant to the 2025 season.
But it's relevant to the context of your emotion to what the Mets are to you. It's very relevant. I completely agree with Anthony. That's literally how it feels.
All right, well, I can't tell you how to feel. You're absolutely right. But, so if the Yankees lost 100 games, that's okay. We've got 27 championships. Let the Mets win them.
I see. No, again, it's the Yankees losing 100 games is more about how I feel about the Yankees right now. It has nothing to do with the Mets, ever. Never, ever. If the Yankees lost 100 and the Mets won 100, I wouldn't be saying, oh, no, the Mets won 100. I'd be saying, what the hell's wrong with the Yankees?
Now, this could change, Don, overnight, the Yankees get bounced by the Red Sox. The Mets go on a miracle run and win the World Series. I think there's a lot of potential for this to change a lot.
Right, well, I think
but
it
right
changed
now,
with Soto. Because I think even the people that are saying, I never cared, they'll still say, well, but when Soto went to the Mets and the Met fans started chirping, I think that was the beginning of it.
That could be, but now something has to happen.
Yeah,
and I'm not saying, of course, you should be more concerned about what's going on with the Yankees than worried about the Mets. But at the same time, I think you could also be like, boy, it probably would help me feel a little bit better if the Mets didn't win the World Series. Let them suffer as much as we did. Misery loves company, right?
That is an interesting point. Is if it got to that, where would I be in a World Series? Yeah, that I don't know, because the last time I had to think about that was 2015.
Yeah, and and that's what's so disappointing about the Mets season is that we kind of, however you felt about, listen, if you're going to just throw the 27 championships, then you're going to win every argument, because there's no way that anybody's going to be able to catch up to that. All right, but you want to live in the now too, right? Like, so because you won 27 championships, then you'll never be disappointed in anything because you got the 27 championships to fall back on. Bull, you just said if they don't win this year, you're going to be red hot. You're going to be ticked off. It's been a while since they've won. So, I just going into this season, it felt like they were on an even plane.
That it could have turned.
It was
into
even,
yeah.
Because I believe you could say, well, the Yankees went to the World Series and the Mets went to the League Championship Series. You can make a very serious case the Mets were better than the Yankees last year. They were in a better league. They both lost to the same team. And then they get one of the best players on the Yankees on their team, and now we're sitting here not even clicked the playoff berth yet, and the Yankees might win the division. So I'm red hot about that. So they're not on the even. But they're going in. Forget about 27 championships to 2. Forget about all the Hall of Famers. Going into the season, they were even.
Are they even now?
No. And I don't think the Mets are going to go on any kind of a run, but I guess it's still fluid, right?
So it's got to be chapping you right now that because of the Yankees turning it around a bit to finish the season, that you're going to have to endure another October of, Yankee talk.
Well, but I'll do it because it's my job.
Oh, I know you'll do it. No,
you're a professional,
and you'll do it as well as anybody. But I'm saying, the Met fan in you is a little chapped.
Right, but you're right. More so chapped at them, because again, the Yankees are not a very hateable team. I think
just ask their fans.
Great.
Oh no,
but the fans.
I think the fans hate them more
and
than
that's
anybody else
irritating too, because you just talked about the
hate
consistency that the Yankees have had over everybody in the market. Yeah. But their fans probably complain more than any other fans.
Yeah,
so
eight playoff
that's what bothers me
in the last 9 years, and no other New York teams had more than 5.
Because it just drives me, like I said earlier in the show, it just drives me crazy that all these Yankee fans are chapped that I'm even saying that Raleigh's got a chance to win the MVP, and they're all and they think it's that Judge should win it, and those same fans are going to use that against Judge if he bats 200 and they don't win the World Series. So are they rooting for him to win the MVP so they've got more ammunition against him if he doesn't win the championship?
No.
It's crazy. But it makes the whole thing fun, that's for sure.
Oh, yeah.
Let's go to Big Jim in Booton. You're on ESPN New York. What's up, Jim?
Hey, Don. That's Big Jim Slade.
Slade. That was from Kentucky Fried Movie.
That was from
linebacker, Kansas City Chiefs.
Big Jim Slade. I'm actually I want to defend some of the Yankee fans about the MVP thing. I don't care if he wins or not, because I want him to win the ALCS MVP. I want him to win the World Series MVP. If he doesn't do those things, I mean, when you look at the end of his career, if he gets 2 MVPs instead of 4, we all know he's the best player. And like our man Fife once said, I never let a statue tell me how nice I am.
There you go.
So, I think Raleigh's going to win it this year. And you know what? 60 home runs, switch hitting catcher, taking care of that staff, which everybody has said they're a little scared of. Give it to him. That's great. I mean, I didn't complain when Jordan didn't win. I didn't complain when Shaq didn't win. Nobody was raising a heck last year when Lamar had better stats than he's ever had, and he lost to Josh Allen. It's just sometimes it's not your turn.
That was the argument that I got into with Jeff Passan yesterday, is that nobody can argue who the better player is.
Mm-hmm.
Judge the better player. But sometimes there's a season that comes along that's just so out of the blue, that's so crazy, that's never been done before. A catcher hitting 60 home runs. That I don't think you can get that mad if he wins it. But
no, I don't think there's a wrong answer to who's the AL
there's
MVP.
a lot of people that do, because they'll show the WAR, and he leads in 10 different categories over Raleigh. I get all that.
It's not egregious, though. Like, it wouldn't
I don't
be
think
egregious.
it is.
It wouldn't. But I also disagree with the idea of, I don't care if he doesn't win MVP. I'd rather him. No, you know what I'd rather? I'd rather win MVP, then win ALCS MVP and World Series MVP. I'd rather him do all of that because he's that good. He could do all of that. So I don't want to say I don't care if he wins this because I'd rather him do this. No, I want him to do it all because that's how good he is.
Yeah.
So you can't say I don't care. But I also can say that if it is Cal Raleigh, it is not egregious. It's not outrageous. It's not anything. It's just, okay, that's a decision you could see them coming to with a vote, and you could say, that makes sense. That can make sense, just like Judge winning can make sense. This is a rare year where either way it goes, you can make a fair argument that it's the right decision.
Now, Don, I know you've been waiting for this all day long. I'm here to hit you with your leaderboard update. Anheuser-Busch, Inc. It's time now for the leaderboard update, brought to you by Michelob Ultra. The day got started at Bethpage Black on Long Island with all sorts of excitement, hubbub, and security as the president walks out Team USA to the first tee, and then Team USA was soundly squashed over the next several hours. Europe getting a 3-1 lead in the morning sessions. They are currently in the middle of their afternoon 4-ball games, but 3-1 early. The Team Europe getting the wins 4-3, 5-3, 5-4, and then Cantlay and Schauffele, or as I like to say, Xander Schauffele, won 2 up in their match with McIntyre and Hovland. But not a good start for Team USA in the morning, in spite of the fact that DiPietro and Rothenberg were there, which is upsetting. But, of course, the USA now looking to bounce back in 4-ball. That's your leaderboard update presented by Michelob Ultra. No matter what you're playing for, make it superior with Michelob Ultra. 2.6 carbs, 95 calories, a superior taste worth playing for. Official beer sponsor of the Ryder Cup.
Lewis,
Don, you watching now, Don? You got it locked in?
No. All right. Lewis in the truck. You're on ESPN New York.
Hey, don't do New York City 30.
Yeah. Trash or trash.
Actually, that was amazing.
That was very good.
That was really good.
Thank you. But I've lived in this city like all my life. I've never met anyone that sounded like that. So I was just wondering where they got the accent from. Maybe we sound like that to other people in other states.
No, that's Nems. That's a real person. That's how he talks.
Yeah.
It's just weird to me. But I really called. I wanted to say that for a long time, but I never got a chance to call in. But I really called because, like I was telling the producer, my grandfather was a Yankee fan and my great grandmother was a Mets fan. And when I was coming up, the Mets and Yankees never even played against each other, so it was never considered to me to be a rivalry. And then I realized that I never really hated the Mets team when I was young. My hatred for the Mets came in when I started listening to the radio shows and hearing Mets fans talking crap about Yankee fans. That's where it came from. It had nothing to do with the team play or whether we beat them or they beat us. It was just hearing Mets fans talking crap about us. And I'm like, damn, where did this even come from? My grandmother, my great-grandmother, my grandfather never argued with each other about being Mets and Yankee fans. Mm-hmm. So it was weird to me to just see Mets hating Yankee fans, Yankee fans hating Mets fans. It didn't make any sense to me. And it still really doesn't.
I think a lot of the quote-unquote hate or dislike for teams more times than not comes from the fan base than the team itself. If there's the built-in rival of being in the same division or rivalries of great epic games or series, most of it just comes from just wanting to shut their fans up.
Mm-hmm.
And listen, the Cowboys, I think, I can't speak for Peter, but a lot of my hatred of the Cowboys came from that they won all the time and that they're in our division, but a lot of it just came from how many fans they have and how much they chirp and how much they talk. That's really what kept it going, for me at least. I can't speak for Peter, but it was probably more of the fans than anything else.
Absolutely is, in my opinion. That's how it was growing up.
How can you hate teams based on players anymore? They're constantly changing.
But
uniforms change. Buildings change.
There are some. There are some teams
Absolutely.
And
no
you
question.
just, there's certain people, players that you just latch onto as, I hate that dude. It's just the way it is. The Knicks have a couple, obviously Halliburton, obviously Trae Young. Like those guys, they'll never be players. Like they'll never be received well. That's villains. You love villains, though. It makes it more fun. Their fans play that stuff up. Baseball, there was again, that Red Sox team, that bunch of idiots team, as a Yankee fan, you hated them, man. Like you just couldn't stand them. But you also respected them, but you couldn't stand them. That's a real thing. But in town, it's a lot harder because I guess we know them more, right? So unless there is a player on the other team that is notorious and you hate them, but you don't play him enough.
That's why Soto can change the narrative, because I can understand a Yankee fan hating him for
if he was a
the
bad
Mets.
guy. But he's not a bad guy.
Really, how many? Let me ask you this: how many people hate a player because he's a bad guy?
It adds to it.
Oh yeah.
But the basis of it is what he's done to your team, right?
Well,
if Halliburton never did a thing to your team, you would have no feeling for him whatsoever.
You hate Chipper Jones?
I never really. The thing with the Mets, I had too many rivals. I hated the Cardinals. I hated the Cubs. Then I hated the Braves. Then I hated the Phillies. I never really. Chipper Jones killed the Mets, so I didn't like him because he killed the Mets. I never hated the guy. I honestly never did.
Because he wasn't a bad guy.
That's the thing.
Everyone
liked Chipper Jones. The same thing with Poppy. No one in the end hated him.
Yeah, it was
including the Yankees, which should have drove you crazy.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, the way you go ask a Red Sox fan what they thought about A-Rod.
Right, but I could hate Pedro.
Because he tossed down.
Yeah, you could have plenty of reasons to hate Pedro for sure.
It was
bit of a nozzle,
but
Schilling and the ketchup sock, you totally hate him. Right, it's easy.
Well, especially if you think it was a ketchup sock.
No, I'm always gonna.
And I love you for that.
I mean, it's an internal injury. How are you bleeding?
And how are you not bunting?
It's just
that's interesting.
This is again why Yankee fans hate their own team.
Well, maybe the Yankees are like, why bunt on him? I don't think anything's wrong with him. I think that's ketchup.
He's fine.
So let's just hit him. All right, this was kind of a prequel, honestly, if you think about it, to what's coming up next, and that's Fraud Alert Friday.
Yes.
Yeah,
Don, Hahn, and Rosenberg. Let's line them up here on ESPN New York.
Record numbers of residents are getting quality, affordable health insurance through Get Covered New Jersey. If you recently had a major life event such as marriage, pregnancy, or insurance loss, you may be eligible to enroll now. All health plans include preventive care, prescriptions, emergency services, and more. 9 in 10 enrolling get financial help, and many pay $10 a month or less. Find out if you qualify at getcovered.nj.gov. That's getcovered.nj.gov.
There's a lot of reasons why people buy at Ramsey Mazda. It's their selection, it's their customer service, and it's their savings. Get 1.9% financing on a new Mazda 2025 CX-50 or lease for $249 for 33 months. Start shopping now at RamseyMazda.com. Choose wisely, choose Ramsey Mazda. Call 833-853-2970 for lease details. VIN SN 354688. MSRP $32,945. Zero security deposit. APR $17.48 per 1,000 finance. Ends 9/30/25.
Why watch alone when you can join the crowd? Ryder Cup Live is taking over New York's favorite bars and pubs with official watch parties all weekend long. From upscale lounges to classic Irish pubs, you'll catch every swing and putt in a club-level atmosphere surrounded by fellow fans. Cheer, toast, and rally behind your team at the hottest Ryder Cup watch spots across Manhattan. Ryder Cup Live, because the best games are watched together. To learn more, visit RyderCup.com.
Hi, former New York Giant Leonard Marshall here. Please join me at the Alzheimer's Foundation of America Family Fun Day on September 27th. Bring your family to AFA's Barbara Rabinowitz Education and Resource Center in Amityville for a fun-filled day of intergenerational activities in celebration of Grandparents Appreciation Month. Learn more and register at AFA September 27th Family Fun Day by visiting www.afalongisland.org or calling 631-223-4000.
Things today can seem kind of unpredictable. Who knows what's around the corner, right?
Well, at Total Wireless, we want to give you something to be sure about. With us, you save 50% off Metro and Cricket when you switch with one line. Guaranteed. And you get to keep the phone and number you love. Visit our Total Wireless store today. 50% savings for unlimited plans versus comparable Total Wireless unlimited phone plans based on standard plan rates. Some customers may only receive the guaranteed savings after contacting us and validating the current plan rate. Excludes promotional, discounted, and bring your phone rates. For total 5G unlimited plan or higher, auto pay required. Applied on next renewal date. Additional terms apply.
We are proud to serve our country, to serve our local communities, to wear the uniform, to be a soldier, to serve abroad when and where duty calls. We are ready to stand with our brothers and sisters to defend, to serve, to fight. We're always ready. We're always there. We are the New York Army National Guard.
Sponsored by the New York Army National Guard.
There's nothing the voice in our head obsesses over like our health. But with over 100 lab tests and insights, Function can help answer the questions like, why am I so tired all the time? How can I get better sleep? My friend was telling me about magnesium gummies she takes. How do I even know if my heart is work stress affected? It's time to up my cardio. If my mom has something, how will I find out? It's time to get some blood work done. A Function membership gives you a comprehensive health check with results tracked over time. Find out what you're made of at functionhealth.com.
Now let's take a look at the traffic with Brandy Scott.
Thanks so much, guys. Not so great at the Verrazano trying to make your way into Staten Island, all because of a crash on the expressway westbound, a lane out by Clove Road. Delays go back onto the outbound Gowanus from the Belt Split. Belt westbound just crawling from Flatbush Avenue on through. Eastbound Belt's an accident by Bay Parkway in Brooklyn. Delays there go back into Bay Ridge. Best of it's the outbound George Henry Hudson. That's about it. We've got the Yanks home tonight in the Bronx. If you're getting a jump start, Deegan just slammed both up and down, heading over to the stadium with the volume for the outbound George. Inbound Georgia about 10 to 15 for the upper deck. Outbound Lincoln, your best ride at 30 to 40. Outbound Helena running you close to an hour. This report is sponsored by Parkways. New Yorkers know the hacks, and here's one for parking. Reserve ahead and pay up to 50% less in drive-up rates. With Parkways, you could book your parking in advance, skip the hassle of searching, and save every time. Download the Parkways app today. I'm Brandy Scott on 880 ESPN New York.
Progressive presents Employee of the Month. Small Business Edition. Today's recipient from Terry's Tiny Homes, Terry! Sure, as the only employee of her company, Terry was probably the front runner, but saving money getting personalized discounts with a commercial auto quote from Progressive, well, that gave Terry the edge. Over Terry.
Terry!
Keep awkwardly chanting your own name, Terry. You deserve it. Woo! Be your own Terry. See if you could save in as little as 8 minutes at progressivecommercial.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates. Discounts not available in all states or situations.
From kickoff to cash out, ESPN Bet has the tools you need to score more on game days. Bet smarter with stats at your fingertips. Get personalized parlays built just for you. And with your fantasy team synced right in the app, you can back your squad. Right now, new customers get $100 in bonus bets when you bet $10. Sign up with promo code USL to get started. Must be 21 plus. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Terms and conditions apply. See app for details. Offer not available in New York.
Did you or someone you know participate in fraudulent fan behavior?
I'm a fraud with a capital F.
Is your friend a fraud?
I have been a complete and utter fraud.
Are you a fraud?
What is fraud?
Let's ask Don La Greca.
Screw! Go scratch yourself!
Fraud Alert Friday. Oh, what feels better than Fraud Alert Friday? The only thing that feels better is when you've got 3 points in the bag already from finally hitting a Thursday night game, thanks to the old Seahawks. But we are here on Fraud Alert Friday. If you want to participate, you can do so.
Do it.
DHRESPN@gmail.com. And you can send us your fraud questions. A lot of questions these days about jersey purchases, guys. And
really,
I have another one.
Let's hear it.
Dear Don and fellow court, I'm a lifelong Celtics fan living in Connecticut, so I have many friends who are Knicks fans. After the C's lost to the Knickerbockers in the playoffs this year, I went online and immediately bought a TJ McConnell jersey so I could wear it to poker while they watched the Pacers knock them out. More than one accused me of fraudulent behavior from a Celtics fan, but I had to explain that the rivalry makes it justified. I look forward to your ruling. Donald McAndrew. Maybe a fake name, but it's okay.
Yeah. I got to hear this.
Yeah. No, there's no fraud there. I enjoyed what he did because it was with purpose and it was to troll. So it had really nothing to do with wearing the other team's jersey. He was trolling.
And the Celtics-Pacers rivalry is dead.
Yeah, no, it died a long time ago.
That was Celtics-Pacers in the early 90s. There was something there, but the Reggie Larry Bird era, but that is a long time ago. Chuck the Rifleman person is not walking through that door.
Chuck the Rifleman.
That's a nice drop, Peter.
That is a good one. That's a good pull.
There's no
I find this to be just petty. Right?
Yeah, I love it.
This is Richard Petty. This is the king of all petties.
Maybe Kyle
Very
Petty.
good. Very good.
Tom Petty.
Tom Petty. You're so bad.
Kyle Petty, Tom Petty, Richard Petty, all the Petties.
I like it.
I personally couldn't wear a TJ McConnell jersey. I wouldn't be able to sleep at night, but listen, God bless. Hi, Don. I'll start off by saying I'm just a casual football fan.
Oh, boy.
My true sports passions are the Yankees and Knicks. That said, everyone makes mistakes in high school, and mine was falling for the Rex Ryan, Mark Sanchez Jets. Back in 2009, I was all in. The gritty run game, the elite defense, it spoke to me. After back-to-back AFC championship appearances, I thought I'd found my team. Turns out I was just being bamboozled by a franchise I had no idea would bring me so much pain.
Bamboozled?
After the 2024 Jets season, I finally tapped out. I've decided to follow my parents' team, the Raiders. Well done. Growing up, I was always surrounded by Raiders gear, and the logo has this nostalgic feel for me. Watching them now brings me peace. Even when they lose, I feel pride, because at least I'm not stuck with the embarrassment the Jets bring. Plus, it feels good to root for the same team as my parents. So, Don, here's my question for Fraud Alert Friday. We all make mistakes in high school. Am I a fraud for jumping ship from the Jets to the Raiders?
Well, no offense, but it's kind of the definition of a fraud, isn't it? Root for a team, quit on the team, go jump on another bandwagon. Now,
not just a bandwagon. Historically, Raiders, Jets, there's a hatred.
I don't think that individual knows the history.
Yeah, I get it, but
I don't
know if any of the living humans know that history.
Can I
Heidi Bowl is something he thinks a doll like poops in.
Yeah, there's nothing there.
So I don't think there's anything to the history there. But no, it's the definition of fraud. I'm sorry. I wish I could be a little bit more creative. Now, he didn't exactly pivot to a great team.
2 playoff appearances in the last 20 years.
Yeah,
So you feel a lot better about life than as a Jet fan.
I almost don't trust casual football fans. Either you're in or you're out, right?
Yeah,
it's hard to follow
it is
football
weird,
casually.
right?
Yeah. But no, he's the definition of a fraud, and I'm embarrassed to even ask.
I mean, have they been through more coaches than the Jets have been in the last 10 years?
Well, that would have been the one.
How are you more comfortable?
The only thing that could have saved him not catching the fraud from Don is that he jumped to such a horrible, horrible team.
Right. I was going to say, they've moved in the last 30 years more than some teams have changed coaches.
Unreal.
I mean, that would be the only thing.
All right. So that's definition of fraud. Okay.
Oh, this is interesting.
Oh, no.
No. Someone just sent us a cool template for when we have a guest. Anthony, go ahead and check that out in the DHR ESPN thing.
Okay.
All right, let me go to. Hey guys, been a Jets fan since I was old enough to enjoy football. At age 10, unfortunately, I haven't had many great memories as a fan.
No.
And haven't seen a playoff game.
Mm-mm.
So when the playoffs rolled around, I always turned to one player growing up to get my football joy. It was Aaron Rodgers. Never seen anyone play quarterback like him. Don and I have said the same.
Yeah.
And I love everything about him strictly on the field. I would root for him every time he wasn't playing the Jets or somehow playing a game where I needed him to lose to help the Jets. Example, to help our draft pick. Fast forward through the Rodgers fiasco here in New York and all my strong emotions around it, and I have no ill will toward him. In fact, I still have the same rooting arrangement as before. Once the Jets are officially eliminated, I intend to root for him to win one last Super Bowl to remind people how good he really is. Am I a fraud for continuing to support my favorite player, even if doing so will make the Jets franchise seem like an even more of a laughingstock than they already are?
This is
nuanced.
This is interesting. This is very nuanced. I appreciate this one, Peter. This is a good one. because I normally never understood the passion for following another individual player. But at the same time, I get it because the Jets have given him no joy. You almost have to do something, right, to entertain yourself in the postseason. His entire lifetime, he's never seen them do anything. And you start following, and I give him credit because he never became a Packer fan. And even now, not a Steeler fan, it's just from a distance. I'm sure he rooted against Aaron Rodgers on opening day, I hope. I'm going to say no fraud.
All right.
I'm going to say no fraud, honestly, because what else are you supposed to do? We've all been through that, Alan, right? Like, our teams aren't good, so we kind of adopt another team in the postseason to kind of keep our interest.
It's a loveless marriage, but you don't want to leave it. So you
step aside.
You
didn't
wander
fall in
to
love
a
with
website
Josh Allen
and
or,
fall in love
or Tua.
with.
But sometimes the thing is, you love your wife, you do, but you haven't been together in years. It's more of an arrangement than a marriage at this point.
Okay.
And then there's just some beautiful, hot, incredible, special specimen. Just got off the first flight from San Juan, and you see her this weekend in January, and you go, "Oh my God!" And then she looks you in the eye and goes, "I want you bad." and when your lips touch,
you think that was Aaron Rodgers?
It's like something that's you've never felt before. No, Alan, it was Aaron Rodgers like 10 years ago. The problem with his whole thing is Aaron Rodgers is now a second loveless marriage. Now the woman he's cheating on his wife with is another woman he hasn't slept with in years. They could barely stand each other, too. He's got two families. Both are completely miserable.
Miserable times two.
Can I offer you something, sir? Since you are in two, I think you should start pulling for the Commanders.
Yeah.
Come to a new. You get nothing from either of these women.
Well, and the only thing that could be looked upon as possibly fraudulent, and I'll go to our resident Jet fan, Alan Hahn, for this one, is should he feel a way about the way it went down with Rodgers. And I don't have a dog in the fight, but Alan, I can see a Jet fan not hating Aaron Rodgers. I mean, did he do anything? He got hurt, right?
Yeah, he wasn't that bad.
He got hurt.
I mean, he was a pain in the ace, but it wasn't crazy.
I don't think you should. I can understand you not hating Aaron Rodgers post Jets.
I don't hate Aaron Rodgers.
Okay. Yeah. So it's not that crazy a thought then.
No, I don't. Whatever happened, I'd still say the Achilles changed whatever the story was supposed to be. And
he was. Besides that, he wasn't that. I got no major issue. If
there's anything after that. You can't hold him accountable.
No,
you can't hold the franchise accountable.
No, you just hate it. You blame the luck and aura of the franchise, but that's it.
That aura is the perfect word. That was the Jetsiest moment in Jets history.
Number one, with a bullet.
I like that one. There was a lot of nuance, but I'm going to say no fraud.
All right, let's hit one more.
I like it.
All right, big fan of the show and longtime listener. I am asking the Honorable Donald Marco La Greca whether or not I'm a sports fraud. Not whether or not I'm a sports fraud, but if I can get a time-served sentence. Oh, this is interesting. I'm 29 years old, and I've been living in Arizona for 9 years. It's hot as hell, and the people are truly insane. Prior to that, I grew up in the Hackensack area. I love the Giants. My grandfather was a massive Giants fan, as are all of my cousins and aunts and uncles. Super Bowls 42 and 46 were major parts of my life. When the Giants won Super Bowl 46, I immediately went to Modell's to get championship gear, as did a good portion of my high school. That was my sophomore year of high school, and I was on cloud 9. This is very interesting so far. I wonder where this is going. But like most high school loves, it didn't last. The Giants have been an absolute dumpster fire every year for practically a decade. Chocolate soft serve in your pants. At first, I was sticking by them, but eventually, I couldn't put the clown makeup on anymore. They're just playing bad football, and the culture of the team is gone. So I've given up on them, and I love it. Right now, I'm essentially a Ronin with no master. I keep up with the Cardinals since I'm in Phoenix, but I can't say I'm enamored. I know I gave up my old team, and that I very well could fall in love with another team. My sister did that, marrying a Green Bay native, and she's happy too. Of course I'm a fraud. The encyclopedia would have a picture of me next to the word. But I feel better being a fraud than I did the past decade rooting for a miserable team with no clear direction. I'm about to go to Munich for Oktoberfest in a week, and I love that I don't care how the Giants will be doing on that Sunday. Instead, I'm going to have a good time drinking beer, eating pretzels, and looking like a hobbit in lederhosen. So, Your Honor, I plead guilty, but I ask for a time-served sentence because the past decade was absolute garbage, and I think I face my punishment. Thank you. And also, Alan, you've been a really bad guy all week. Best, Ryan.
All right, you ready?
Yep.
I am going to say no fraud.
Wow.
Now, with a caveat, if all of a sudden he comes back, Jackson Dart starts lighting it up, fraud. If he starts rooting for the Cardinals, fraud. If he picks up another team, fraud. But you got to allow an out, Alan. If a guy wants to tap out, that's his life, man. If he's done, he's done. Show me something and be done. If we fast forward 30 years from now and he still says, I'm out on football, I'm still done with the Giants, never picked up another team, then congratulations, man. You did it.
You got out.
But right, so as of right now, if he sticks to it, he's no fraud. But if he comes back or picks another team, he's a fraud.
Okay, so that's the stipulation is you're allowed out, but if you come back, that's what makes you a fraud. So he right now technically isn't a fraud. Okay, that I could buy it. By the way, he's a fantastic writer. That was an email you were reading, right?
Beautifully written email.
Fantastic writer.
Beautifully written email. Now, that's going to do it for Fraud Friday on this Friday.
Well done. Really enjoyed that.
And
we have good ones every week.
Really good. And thank you. And I also want to tell you something from our friends at BetterHelp, because BetterHelp, it's interesting because a lot of people, they're turning all over the place, all right? They're looking for someone to be a therapist, but not everyone's the one. You got to find your right match when it comes to therapy, all right? How about this? BetterHelp. You get a short questionnaire that helps you identify your needs and preferences. And then their 10-plus years of experience and industry-leading match fulfillment rate means they typically get it right the first time. If you're not happy with your match, you can switch to a different therapist at any time from their teller recommendations. All right, it's online. You can pause at any time. You can switch therapists at any time with no additional cost. And they have over 30,000 therapists. BetterHelp is the world's largest online therapy platform. They've served over 5 million people globally. Convenient, too. You can join a session with a therapist at the click of a button, helping fit therapy into your busy life. All right? Plus, they have an unbelievable rating online, okay? Diverse variety of expertise in their therapists. So much there for you. All right? Go find the one with BetterHelp. Our listeners get 10% off their first month at betterhelp.com/timeout. That's betterhelp.com/timeout. So much more on the way right here, including your phone calls and lots of football to get to in the 5 o'clock hour, plus our picks and ENN. It's Don, Hahn, and Rosenberg.
Right now at Bay Ridge Honda, your EV countdown to $7,500 in savings ends September 30th. Hurry in, the clock is ticking. You can get a Prologue Touring for $179 per month with zero down during the EV Countdown sales event. Plus, receive thousands in benefits and savings with their Bay Ridge Plus Advantage plan. Upfront pricing, total peace of mind. Visit BayRidgeHonda.com. 36 months lease, 10,000 miles per year, 3,300 loyalty or conquest, and $7,500 EV credit as down payment.
Hey Yankees fans, hit your next adventure out of the park and onto the water with City Cruises New York. Sail your way to epic skyline views, delicious dining, and premium drinks. Upgrade your game day with a dining cruise, a cocktail sail, or a night with your favorite entertainers aboard City Cruises Live. Whether you're celebrating a win or just the weekend, City Cruises is a shipload of fun. Proud partner of the New York Yankees. Book today at citycruises.com/New York.
Oh, what are you doing? Don't do New York City dirty.
New York City's my heart, my soul. I would never do this place dirty because everything I want is in this city.
Why would you want to dirty somewhere that you live?
This is your home. You don't throw papers out the window, flick cigarette butts.
It's disrespectful. Dispose of it the correct way.
I would never put trash on the ground. That's why we got trash cans. Don't do New York City dirty. Trash your trash.
A message from the Sanitation Foundation.
One by one, we keep this city clean, man. Let's get it.
Schweppes, the iconic ginger ale of New York, is proud to sponsor the PGA of America. Schweppes has a deep lineup of ginger flavors, including raspberry, white peach, dry grape, and also available in zero sugar. With every sip of Schweppes, the dedication to quality, excellence, and the art of tastefulness will leave you feeling simply refreshed. It's a hole-in-one for all your drinking occasions. Schweppes, a sparkling tradition since 1783, and the perfect way to elevate your summer. Swing by your local ShopRite and grab some Schweppes.
This college football moment is brought to you by ServPro.
College football teams have moments they recovered from and made it like it never even happened. Like on September 24, 2016, when Tulsa found themselves down 31-0 to Fresno State. With 10 minutes left in the second quarter, Tulsa fought back to tie the game at 41. And then won 48-41 in double overtime.
ServPro, like it never even happened.
Whether you're building a single roof or a successful roofing business, roofing contractors like you need the right tools for the job, and software is no exception. Service Titan is on a mission to be the most powerful software platform for the trades, with purpose-built technology proven to maximize revenue, streamline operations, and deliver 5-star customer experiences. We are taking roofing companies like yours to the next level and beyond. Service Titan, we are built for this. See what we can do for roofers at servicetitan.com.
From kickoff to cash out, ESPN Bet has the tools you need to score more on game days. Bet smarter with stats at your fingertips. Get personalized parlays built just for you. And with your fantasy team synced right in the app, you can back your squad. Right now, new customers get $100 in bonus bets when you bet $10. Sign up with promo code USL to get started. Must be 21 plus. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Terms and conditions apply. See app for details. Offer not available in New York.
Hey, it's Desmond Howard. You want to win the weekend? It all starts with the tailgate. And for me, that means Kingsford Charcoal.
They've been bringing the flavor, the smoke, and the heat since 1920. No wonder they're still the gold standard of grilling. So fire it up, feed your crew, and let the smoke do the talking. Kingsford, the king of the tailgate. Get it today at the Home Depot. How doers get more done.
The ESPN New York Couchcast is coming, and things are heating up.
We genuinely really get along with each other.
I don't even think Peter watches sports. You could make the argument that Rick doesn't get enough credit for being a low-key fraud.
Carl's going to be at this Couchcast, too, so we got to make sure we have a lot of cannolis.
The ESPN New York Couchcast is Monday night, September 29th. See it all unfold on the ESPN New York YouTube channel. Brought to you by the All-American Ford Auto Group, Calandra's Bakery, and Jacob's Pickles.
Saturday, October 4th at Sports Illustrated Stadium, the New York Red Bulls take on FC Cincinnati with kickoff set for 7:30 p.m. Start your match day early on the Boulevard at 4:30 p.m. Enjoy pregame activities and, of course, giveaways and live performances. Then at 5:45, catch the Red Bulls on the red carpet. Gates open at 6 p.m., where the first 10,000 fans get a reversible Red Bulls bucket hat. For your chance to win a family 4-pack, enter through the ESPN New York app. Just click on the contest tile and submit your entry. Bring the crew and secure your seats at NewYorkRedBulls.com. Plan ahead and travel smart. The Harrison Path station is closed on Saturday, October 4th. Free shuttles will be running from Journal Square to the stadium. All right, let's get back to some calls. We've got a big 5 o'clock hour. Our picks at 5:45. ENN at 6, and then we'll hand it off to Mets and Marlins at the bottom of the hour. Let's go to Sean in Maryland. You're on ESPN New York. What's up, Sean?
Hey, guys. How you doing?
Good.
Hey, Sean.
Can you hear me?
Oh. Yeah, sure.
We got you.
I apologize. Okay, so I want to thank Jacob for such an entertaining call, even though he's part of the irrelevant fan base, which is the Mets. And I'm glad Soto went to the Mets because now he can be Mr. Irrelevant, too. He didn't want to be on a good team. He's all about himself.
So you
don't get me wrong. When he was a Yankee, I thought he played pretty well.
So you
just
hate
the
the
attitude and not being able to share the spotlight.
So you hate
and it's going to be Judge's team. I give A-Rod a lot of credit because when he came to the Yankees, he realized it was Derek's team, and he moved over to third base. Soto didn't realize that this is Judge's team, and he doesn't want to be a winner. So as a result, he can go across the bridge and be Mr. Irrelevant.
So you hate the Mets. Thank you, Sean, for the phone call and confirming everything that I've said for the last hour and a half.
Except having the ability to have a conversation back.
Yeah, well, because when you know you're wrong, you hang up. And he went for the money, people. Please stop it. It was confirmed. So he wasn't scared to judge. He just wanted to get paid more. That's it. And maybe the Yankees ended up being smart about it. We'll see. Year one, it looks like the Yankees pivoted very well. We'll ultimately see.
I actually think year 2 will make it look even better. I think year 1, you didn't get a full feeling of it. I think year 2 you will. I think next year's a bigger year for the Yankees.
But you know what? Year 2, year 3, year 4, year 5. I mean, it's very fluid because right now, listen, Fried, that contract is not going to age well. So
I don't care. I hope it.
Well,
the first
you'll
4 years
care
all that
if
matter
you
to
don't
me.
win.
Oh, well, but I think they will.
All right. Well, if they win, just like CeCe Sabathia's. CeCe Sabathia's contract didn't age well either.
Didn't matter.
But you got the 2009 championship, so it didn't matter.
Right.
If you win this year, next year, whatever. But, if you're in year 5 or 6 of that deal, haven't won yet, and you're paying that contract, and now he's 37, 38 years old.
Can I also say, though,
it can look
CeCe,
bad.
but
my point is it's very fluid, Alan. It's going to look good. It's going to look bad, and we'll see.
Yeah. No, I know. But I can't imagine the Soto contract's going to age well either. But
right,
in
the same thing. If they win, it won't matter.
In defense of CeCe Sabathia, like it wasn't as if he was an albatross. He also still provided desperately needed leadership.
Oh, absolutely.
Like he still was a valuable piece. Even though, yes, was he the same guy he was in 2009? No. But was he still a valuable piece of the franchise in that clubhouse? Absolutely.
Right, but he was overpaid, and the Yankees were at that time.
Baseball,
let me ask you a question. Across sports, how many non-first contracts of great players age well? They don't.
Well, they only age well depending on what they do early on, right? So,
if you win, then it covers up how well they age.
I think what Peter's asking, and it's the right question because it's a reason why, like in the NBA, they don't allow this, is any contract over 5 years. Give me the one that was a good contract.
Unless it was their first deal after the rookie deal.
The entire run of the contract beyond 5 years was what a great contract that was.
It never happens.
No.
Don, you just said it with CeCe. Still wasn't a good deal, but they won a title.
Right.
Stanton deal we know is going to age horribly, but he's been great for them. That's
Yankees,
the deals you sign with these guys when you want them.
Right, because that's how it worked. Like the Yankees would tell you that giving 8 years to a 31-year-old is not a good idea. But the idea was if we get a couple of championships early on, it's not going to matter. All right, so so it doesn't matter if it aged poorly. Same thing with Soto, right? The Mets have 2 championships. So at the end of it, we may look back and go, boy, it probably wasn't worth a 15-year contract. But if the Mets get a couple of championships out of it, nobody's going to complain. So that's the answer to your question. None of them really technically age well because it's always some older player that's getting way overpaid and not contributing the way he should based on the contract. That's just the way it is. I could tell you that Max Fried at 38 years old is not going to be the Max Fried that he is right now. Just that's how age works, right? You know that going in, but the hope is at the beginning of the deal, you'll get something out of it. That's why I'm saying to Alan, I don't think the Mets aren't winning this year, but they might win 4 of the next 5. I don't know, but it's going to be very up and down. Right now it looks like the Yankees' pivot was perfect, and the Mets are wondering, should we have done this? But they may feel completely opposite next year and then go back to feeling the way they did in the first year and the third year. It's going to be the ebb and flows of what should be a fun decade of baseball plus. Let's go to, how about Tessa in West Caldwell? You're on ESPN New York. Hi, Tessa.
Hey, guys. Thanks so much for taking my call. Of course, I'm excited about the Yankees. Nervous about Sunday's game, but, I'm going to go there and just try to give it my best. But I really had a follow-up question because you guys know I'm a maniac. I'm 1,000% locked in as a fan. Just don't mess with my teams, Giants, Lakers, Yankees, Devils. Just don't do that. So on Fridays, if I go into the office, it's casual Fridays, and now that the football season is here, you wear your jerseys or you wear whatever you want to represent your team. And whoever has the most representation, they get to take a picture. And on that Monday, win, lose, or draw, you have to have that picture on your desktop, like throughout the office. So, okay, cool. So we have more Giants fans by 1. We have more Giants fans than Jets fans. And you got a couple of other things sprinkled in. So today I went. So now I go and I see this guy who he's been wearing Ravens stuff. So, we talk a little bit. He says that, I was a casual fan, but then when I went to college in Maryland, I really became a diehard Ravens fan. I'm a Ravens fan. Okay, cool. He talks about it a lot. He's excited. Devastated last year when they lost. Okay, cool. So when I walk in today, I see that he has a freaking Brian Burns jersey on, and it's just like the Giants really looking like, what is this guy doing? So I go up to him like, what are you doing? Why do you have that jersey on? He was like, oh, because I'm tired of not, having a picture on the desktop. I want my picture. I'm like, listen, knock it off. You're not going to do that with our team. You're not going to do that with my team. Like, you're a fraud. What are you doing? I'm like, take that jersey off right now. I'm like, you look like a freaking bag of trash with fish guts in it. Stop it. So, like we all getting on him, and he like, we keep getting out of control. You guys are crazy. It's just a game. Exactly why you need to take that jersey off for you to say it's just a game. Like, we live and die for this, and you're being disrespectful because you want to be in the picture. Take that jersey off. The long story short, we blacked out, but whatever. But I really feel like he's a fraud and he's fake for that. Like, what do you guys think? Like, that's disgusting to me. Like, you're terrible.
Well, listen, you know how we feel over here. We don't accept fraudulence.
I love that it's like I got my little police out there trying to keep anti-fraud alive.
But you guys remember that from my childhood, the thing that irritated me so much is that in 1991, the Washington Post put out this bumper sticker. Remember when – all right, kids, gather around, story time. There was a thing called newspapers, right? And then there was a thing called bumper stickers. Anyways, they sent out this bumper sticker that said – Redskins bandwagon, and everyone put it on their car. And as a kid, I got so annoyed. I was like, who would want to say they're on a bandwagon? Why would anyone say they're on a? Since that day, I have, even though I admit openly I'm a baseball fraud, I have no real acceptance for fraudulence. If you gotta stick with your team, people.
Yeah, that was a bad choice of bumper sticker.
Yeah, it's a negative connotation.
Maybe it was an inside joke that I didn't get because I was too young. I think it was a Kornheiser thing, so it may have been there was some play on it, and I was 12.
Get on the bandwagon now. That's what they always say. Like when a team is on the rise, it's like get on the bandwagon.
And by the way,
now.
The bandwagon thing does always happen, no matter what.
But that's for the fringe and the non-fan.
The fringe.
It's a different vibe for those types of people. But you know what? If they had their quarter and they wanted to buy a newspaper, I'm sure they were all four of them to jump in on that bandwagon. We got football to get to. We've got our picks at 5:45. We've got E&N at 6. It's Don La Greca hanging out with you until 6:30. Then it's Mets Marlins here on ESPN New York.
There's a lot of reasons why people buy at Ramsey Mazda. It's their selection, it's their customer service, and it's their savings. Lease a new 2025 Mazda CX-90 Turbo Select for $249 for 24 months. Start shopping now at RamseyMazda.com. Choose wisely, choose Ramsey Mazda. Call 833-853-2970 for details. VIN S1225248. MSRP $40,000. Zero security deposit. Ends 9/30/25.
This fall, golf's greatest rivalry comes alive like never before. The Ryder Cup isn't just at Bethpage Black, it's everywhere. From a high-octane fan zone at Rockefeller Center to official watch parties across Manhattan to curated fan kits bringing the action home. You can rally with Team USA or Team Europe wherever you are. Feel the passion, celebrate the tradition, and live every putt, drive, and cheer. Ryder Cup Live. Be part of golf history on and off the course.
To help those who want to be helped, but may not be able to afford it.
That's what PGA Tour winner Grayson Murray had envisioned for a foundation before he sadly took his own life at just 30 years old. His parents channeled their grief into creating the Grayson Murray Foundation, carrying out his vision to help those struggling with mental health and addiction. To donate and learn more, visit GraysonMurrayFoundation.com.
And now let's take a look at the traffic with Brandy Scott.
Thanks so much, guys. Really no easy way to get around right now. We're going to start off in Jersey, 80 eastbound, crawling into Patterson, a crash blocking 2 lanes by exit 56 for Squirrelwood Road, backed up for about 6 miles into Fairfield. Heading over to the Yanks game in the Bronx using the inbound George. Stick with the upper deck, just about a 5 to 10 minute ride. Lower level broken down car on the span, 15 to 20 minutes in building. Deegan just jammed in both directions, heading over to the stadium with the volume for the outbound George. Northbound, especially tough, not moving much from the Triborough and the Bruckner. Outbound Lincoln, your best ride at 20 to 30. Outbound Helena cost you close to an hour. This report is sponsored by the New York City Department of Transportation. Speeding ruins lives. Drivers, watch out for pedestrians and cyclists and slow your turns to less than 5 miles an hour. I'm Brandy Scott on 880 ESPN New York.
Every aspect of your business will operate better and faster with artificial intelligence. AI is a race, and companies that act first will win. Thrive Managed AI is your advantage over all your competitors. Thrive partners with you on a smart, secure AI strategy for your business. Then they deploy and manage it for you. Be first and win the race with Thrive Managed AI. Start with a complimentary strategy consultation at thrivenextgen.com/ESPN. That's thrivenextgen.com/ESPN.
A SoFi personal loan is here to help you achieve something once thought impossible: overcoming high-interest credit card debt. Walk the tightrope of your finances with one low, fixed-rate monthly payment, no fees required, and as soon as the same-day funding. That's right. Pull off your own debt-defying stunt with a SoFi personal loan. Visit SoFi.com/trick to learn more. Loans originated by SoFi Bank, N.A., member FDIC. Terms and conditions apply. NMLS 696891.
Out here, it's football season, where nothing beats backyard grilling, gathering around the fire pit, and cheering on your favorite team with friends. The yard is mowed, the lights are strung, and the grill is warming up. Whether you need to fill up your propane, get a new grill, or even a generator, out here, it's game day. And we're ready for it. Tractor Supply, for life out here.
880 ESPN, WHSQ, and WCBS-FM HD2, New York. A Good Karma Brands radio station.
Game Time is brought to you by Tullamore Dew Irish Whiskey, because when it's game time, guys, sure, it's Tully time. Mets start their series. Final series of the regular season, maybe their final games of 2025 in Miami versus the Marlins. And that'll be right after us on 880 at 6:30. And the Yankees still a chance to win the division, flat-footed tie with the Blue Jays going into the final weekend. They'll be hosting the Baltimore Orioles at 7:05. Devils and Islanders at UBS at 7.
Like you dream about.
So a lot going on. Tullamore Dew, the original triple distilled, triple blended, and triple cast matured Irish whiskey. Be sure to grab a Tullamore Dew. Try the new Tullamore Dew Honey during today's action. Glasses up to enjoying Tullamore Dew responsibly. You got the baseball this weekend and the only football because the Jets are Monday. And don't forget to check out the Couchcast right here on our YouTube channel beginning at 7 o'clock right after our show on Monday.
Subscribe.
You got to smash it.
Smash it.
That.
Should be a lot of fun. So the Giants, from a football perspective, have our attention, and everybody's excited about Jackson Dart, and why not? Because it's not so much excited about winning the game, because it's going to be tough to win the game. Chargers are really good. It's losing with purpose, right, guys? It's like, if I'm going to lose, let me lose with my shiny new toy that's going to learn, that's going to get better, and then eventually become our franchise quarterback. So I'm excited to watch the Giants and see how he looks. Now, I caution Giant fans to go in with enthusiasm, but keep the expectations reasonable.
Cautious optimism, Don?
Because of the fact that I still think they're coached poorly. I still think they have a coaching issue. And I don't think the kid's going to be able to overcome that. So I think he'll be better than Russell Wilson. He's more athletic than Russell Wilson. But let's be cool, man, because I don't know how much better it's going to look on the scoreboard. It might be more entertaining, and it's going to be nice to lose with purpose and maybe surprise a few people down the road here. But, guys, shouldn't you just go in with, I don't want to say zero expectations, but don't put too much on the kid's plate, man. I know he's experienced from college. I know he really impressed in the preseason, but we don't know. We have no idea what he's going to do. That's why I think the reaction inside the room has been lukewarm. We played the Dexter Lawrence sound. Why as a player, guys, would you be anything other than lukewarm? I mean, what could you know? No matter how good he's looked in practice, he's only played with the ones like 10% of the time as a backup. Did not play with the ones or against ones in the preseason. As excited as the organization is about this kid, I think everybody's just going to watch and see what it looks like. But my worry is if there's a coaching problem with the Giants, which I believe there is, I don't know how the kid overcomes that. So I'm going to go in and just hope to see entertaining football, see a kid that gets it. But I don't want to put any statistical value on it. I don't want to say he's got to do this or he's got to do that. I really don't know what to expect on Sunday. I don't. But I'm looking forward to it either way.
That's the way you have to go into this game. And the reality is, when you have a team that you know cannot do that much in a given year, it's not the best way to watch football. But when you have an opportunity, at least, like, for example, I think the Giants are in a much more appealing spot than the Jets, because I don't believe the Jets have any belief that Justin Fields is actually going to be their guy. I don't. I think it was a little Band-Aid, a nice Band-Aid. Maybe we'll stumble into something.
Yeah, it feels
and
like that.
And it looks like they won't, Don. It looks like they probably won't. Whereas with the Giants, to be clear, I still think this is a big hope. I think we know very little about who Jackson Dart is, and I heard it being discussed on Kay's show yesterday. Who was he talking to?
Probably Orlovsky, I know he had on.
Was it Dan? Either way, Michael was asking, basically, if Dart is so good, why was he picked at 25? And the explanation that essentially you could see a lot in him, but he just doesn't have that unbelievable top 5 pick sort of arm talent or anything like that, makes this still probably an uphill battle. And I would not go into tomorrow or Sunday thinking, we found our guy, it's a done deal. But Don, you never know. We've seen great quarterbacks come from low in the first round and the second round before.
Right.
So at least, unlike the Jets, where I just think, guys, Monday you're just hoping, hey, could they beat the Dolphins? That would be fun. At least now the Giants season has meaning.
It doesn't matter what happens this week. Irrelevant. Either
score-wise.
Yeah.
He could throw for 300 yards and 3 touchdowns, and it still, you don't know. We're not going to know. We probably won't know until the holidays are here, until we get to the end of the season. So you have to watch that way. And no fan does. You always want to have that immediate moment where it's just like you declare it, oh, we got our guy. But in reality, you're not going to know, because as we've learned with a lot of quarterbacks, you could have a good start, and then now they got tape on them, and then all the defenses start making adjustments. But the thing with Dart is this. First and foremost, the Giant offense is going to look different, I promise you. And here's why. It's not going to be the Giant offense. It's going to be what they did at Ole Miss. It's going to be what he was good at in college and what he knows well, because that's the only way he's going to be comfortable in an NFL game right now. And I'm sure they've already prepared a playbook of those plays so that when he does get out there in the huddle, he has some kind of confidence because he's already done it before. That's where the confidence comes from, demonstrated performance. Well, where did he demonstrate performance? At Ole Miss. So it's going to be a lot of that kind of stuff. So that's what you have to look forward to, is what does it look like and what can they do with it? But the notion that he's a late first-round pick and so you really can have great expectations, I remind everybody that Brock Purdy was Mr. Irrelevant. And they had to use him. And what they learned with Brock Purdy is while he doesn't have a cannon for an arm and he's not 6'5", 230, he does have the ability to process. He does have the ability to understand plays, to have the ability to see the routes through peripheral vision and not have to wonder and not have to do the check. He is a processor. Can Jackson Dart process? Because if he can think quickly on his feet, he'll be successful. He doesn't have to have all the physical attributes that make a top 5 pick. I'm not worried about that. I just want to see, how is he in the huddle? How do the players respond to him? And what plays are they using to make sure he's in somewhat of a comfort zone against what is obviously, it's Harbaugh, it's the Chargers. He's going up against it. So don't expect a lot, but it is definitely a curious watch on Sunday just to see what they do with him.
I'll push back
and how
on
he
one
handles
thing.
it.
I'm going to push back on one thing you said, though.
Yep.
And I know you were probably being slightly hyperbolic about sort of nothing matters this weekend.
I'm with you, Peter.
If he's great or he is awful, that matters. Now, if he's mediocre, Alan, I think you take nothing from it and you see what happens next week, you move. But if he's either lights out good or lights out awful, Don, those are things you really do take note of. There's no way around it.
Well, this is a really good Chargers defense. I think it's a very underrated defense because of how well they've played offensively with Justin Herbert, but it's a good defense, good defensive coordinator. So if he went out there and threw 3 touchdowns, 300 yards, I'm with you, Alan. I'm not going to all of a sudden, book tickets to Canton for the kid. But that would show me something because then that would kind of back up what we saw in the preseason. and the expectations would get high. If he gets destroyed, that's a little different to me because, again, it's a good defense. It's his debut. I just would take everything with a grain of salt.
But that's what I'm trying to say.
But if he does throw for 300 yards, that's I think that would be pretty impressive.
It would be impressive, but it's also, remember, it's maybe that, like, look, I expect Harbaugh to know they're probably going to do a lot of Ole Miss stuff, and he'll probably spend a little time watching some Ole Miss tape and say, okay, this is the type of stuff they're going to run. Let's be ready for it, right? Because if they aren't ready for it, that to me, that's more on the Chargers. You got to know what they're going to do. He's not going to run Russell Wilson's offense. That's what I don't think that's how it's going down. I could be wrong, but I just don't think that if he gets shut down because they run a very conservative play calling and they try to run as much as they can and they have him do some runs and the Chargers are ready for it and they stuff the run like they're good at.
Right.
What are you going to say?
But on the flip side,
remember Tommy DeVito? They didn't let him throw the ball. Like, you don't know what kind of approach they're going to have. So I'm with Don. This, to me, is more of a coaching game than it is Jackson Dart the savior or not.
But you also wouldn't deny that if he goes in there and regardless of play calling, he ends up looking overwhelmed and like he's really not ready for the moment, throws some bad picks to no one.
Fair.
Yeah, you're going to come out
if
and
he
go,
has happy feet, if you see he's he's burping the baby like Bart likes to say. Yeah, and he's indecisive. Yeah, that tells you he's not ready.
And that's
I don't know if he's that though.
I don't think he. I hope and don't think he will be.
I'm not expecting that.
But there are things we're going to learn from this week for sure. And we'll see how vanilla they go offensively. I mean, part of the problem with Dable has been, Don, he's been vanilla.
Yeah,
I mean, they really have not shown you anything that you thought you were going to get. So what I'm curious about is, could it have been that they felt obligated to trot out Russell Wilson? We brought in a Hall of Famer. Before we went and drafted this kid, we're giving him a few games. Game 1, not good. Let's see what happens in Game 2. 450 yards. Let's give him another one. Awful. Time to make the move. And now, with Wilson out, they feel comfortable opening up the playbook to someone who they think is now more capable. That would be exciting.
The other thing, and we'll get to your calls at 1-800-919-3776, what your expectations are. Apparently there's going to be several planes flying over MetLife Stadium. Like, everybody's coming out of the woodwork that they're going to be flying. First of all, it's old, it's tired.
Already?
Stop. Wow. Well, because it's an old thing they did back in the 70s. I think it was 78, Alan.
I'm saying it's
burning tickets.
It's kind of early in the season for this.
Yeah, what are we doing?
But I think, listen, it's performative. People have disposable income, and they know they're going to get interviewed, and they're going to. So it's just they're at 15 minutes, right?
Yep.
And I get it, and it's something that worked 50 years ago, and I get that John Mara's sensitive to these types of things. But of all days, Sunday, when you're bringing in the new quarterback,
not the
like I can get if they didn't bring in Jackson Dart and they brought Russell Wilson back, then I get it. You're 0-3, you're going to lose the game, same old, same old. But on this day that literally could be ushering in the new era of Giants football that you're hoping for, is that really the day you want planes flying overhead about, how bad the team is and sell the team and all that? Can we at least have hope spring eternal for 1 week and just and give this kid the best possible chance to succeed instead of it having that?
I'm sorry, Don. If I was a fan, I'd be pissed off about that because this isn't the day for that. This could be the first day of the next era. I know it sounds dramatic, but you don't know. It could be the time you look back. Like, again, we all mentioned the week that they decided to give Eli the ball, right? Like, you could look at it as, you remember they had Russell Wilson, remember that? And they pulled the plug on him, and that's when Dart started, and maybe it was rocky, but, you knew this was a new era. And then all these years later, he's holding up Vince Lombardi, right? That's what that's the dream. That's what happened with Eli. So you don't want to – and that was also the day they flew some planes over the stadium saying sell the team. So, yeah, if I was a fan, I wouldn't want any type of negativity around this day.
But my fear throughout this whole thing is if you don't have the right coach, it's not going to matter.
Agree.
A great quarterback, unless he's a veteran, if you bring in a veteran Brett Favre, you bring in Aaron Rodgers later in his career, Joe Montana, maybe can overcome bad coaching. But a kid's not going to be overcome bad coaching. So I hope, I think I'm right that they don't have the right coaches in place. So that's why I don't have any heavy expectations, because how is he supposed to overcome bad coaching, bad play calling, just a bad aura around the organization that I think should have been changed before the season started? I hope I'm wrong. I hope this is where it all comes together for not just the quarterback, for the coach. That's what you got to be rooting for if you're a Giant fan. It can't all be about the quarterback. Even if he ends up being great, it's not going to matter if it's this coaching staff that's going to move forward. All right?
He has his guy. Where you could see that they're simpatico, that I'm calling plays with this guy's skill set in mind, and this kid gets the stuff I'm calling, and it starts to work. It always felt like Daniel Jones had the physical attributes that fit what Dable wanted to do, but Daniel Jones and Dable never, ever seemed like they were simpatico, right? Am I right?
Right.
Like it seemed like everything he had about him, the size, the ability to run, like all that stuff felt like, yeah, that's a guy that fits what Dable wants to do at the quarterback position. But yet it never felt like they were on the same page or really connected. And now you want to see, does it happen here with Dart? Because that's his pick.
Now, it doesn't feel like it's going to happen just because you see what Daniel Jones has done since he left. But I hope I'm wrong. I hope this is what brings everything together for Kafka and for Dable, and they just start to look better. Because I don't want to have to see this kid go through another head coach, another offensive coordinator, maybe another general manager in year 2 after, he went out there and played 14 games under the previous regime. So I'm rooting to be wrong, and hopefully this all comes together. But as you root for Jackson Dart, you got to root for Dable and Kafka to be the right people, because that's the best case scenario.
Yes, agree.
Of it all coming together and then getting it right by keeping those guys and have Jackson Dart not have to go through a regime change. I don't think I'm going to be wrong, guys. But that's what you got to hope for, because the coach has to work too. Otherwise, it's just not. It's not going to happen. And it's the reverse for the Jets, as Peter said, because I don't think they have the quarterback. You're hoping they have the coach. But unless you get both, it's not going to happen.
Yeah. Again, the quarterback is more of the reach right now, and hoping you catch lightning in a bottle, and a Darnold, Daniel Jones, Geno Smith type situation. But there's no guarantee that that's going to happen. You just want to. I'm not completely out. I just want to see if it happens at some point during the season, or if okay, they got to go in another direction. But when it comes to Jackson Dart, like I don't you feel like, though, especially who you're playing, you keep talking about coaching, Don, like knowing who you're playing. They are coming to the East. They are, it is, 1:00 game. That stuff is true factor, but I do feel like this is going to be a game that's more on the defense, a lot of pressure on the defense, and if you just, look, it sounds cliche, but don't turn the ball over and just try to, carry a series, get some third downs, which they were terrible at third downs last week, 1 for 10. You just want to have the ability to win a game 17-14 or 20-17. Am I crazy to say that that's probably the game plan?
Sure.
Not having to see the kid just unload. I don't think you're going to see them really let him unleash down the field like Russ was doing. I don't think they're going to play that way. I think they're going to be extremely conservative. They'll run a lot, and they'll depend on their defense in this game. I don't think it's going to be a laser light show by Jackson Dart.
Well, we'll see. I mean, if they really do believe in him, I think that he would have probably thrown a couple of passes when he came into the games the previous 2 weeks. He didn't.
Yeah.
He was the backup, and you heard it throughout the Sunday night broadcast against Kansas City. Everybody's thrilled with this kid. They're ready. Winning the game's not important to me. So if he makes mistakes, like the whole Bill Parcells, if you're throwing interceptions, that means you're going for it. If you believe in the kid, I think you can give him opportunities to go out there and take what the defense is going to give you. Right?
At some point, maybe not right away.
At that point, because, again, it's not the game. Your own 3. You want to win games, but at the end of the day, you want to develop. And so if he throws an interception, it costs you the game, but you're learning something, and he's learning something. There could be value to that.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm curious to see it. It's probably as excited I've been for a Giant game since going into last year when I thought they had a chance to be pretty good.
I'm sorry.
No, seriously.
No, I'm sorry because I know what that's like. I know what it's like to go, finally, I at least have something to root for.
Well,
can I see if a kid's good?
Yeah, and I'm exaggerating. I'm probably, you know what? This is probably the most excited I've been about a Giant game since the Cowboy Sunday night game when they lost 40-0.
Oh, wow.
Because, they're coming off.
We had hope then.
Yeah, they're coming off going to the playoffs, and they're taking on the Cowboys, national television at home, and then it was
what an underrated, horrible moment for the franchise that was.
Yeah.
Well, because it got completely overshadowed because of the next night.
Rodgers tore his leg.
You saw Rodgers tear his Achilles, and that's all anybody
talked
talked about.
But that night, we were out there across the street from MetLife, and it really was like a Hope Springs Eternal kind of moment. Like, they're coming off the tough loss to the Eagles, which granted was horrible, but you wanted to believe that was an anomaly, and Daniel Jones had found something. And then you fast forward 3 hours, and I just have the image of Daniel Jones laying face down in the mud with shots on the sideline of it looking like his head coach was like trying to teach him a lesson by keeping him in the game. It was truly the beginning of the end of that era of this team.
That was the any given Sunday moment. They're not playing for him, Coach. We'll let him learn.
Yeah.
And
that went great. And I'll tell you what, Daniel Jones got the lesson. It's unfortunate it hit him in Indy, but
right.
It did feel like Dable almost hate coached Daniel Jones. You know what I mean?
It felt that way. Do you remember after the playoff game, they beat Minnesota, and in the post-game presser, he would not compliment the quarterback.
No.
He never would compliment the quarterback.
Never felt
if you
right.
want,
Yeah.
it's not a conspiracy theory, Alan, but it almost feels like he was setting up for, if I'm not successful here, it's because of Daniel Jones. And the way he treated him, leaving him out there against the Dallas Cowboys despite them getting killed, and berating him on television all the time he made a mistake, even though the rest of the team was complete garbage too, including himself. That it was almost setting up where, listen, I could be winning here, but I don't have the quarterback. Well, now he's got his quarterback. Mm-hmm. And the quarterback he said he couldn't win with is 3-0 in Indy. All right, so it's not aging well for him at all.
It is not. It is.
So we're down to the nitty-gritty here, but this is what we have. So you can root for it to go sideways, which I'm sure a lot of fans are, in hopes that Dable and Shane are gone, but it could come at the expense of a kid that might be a really good quarterback someday. So
who's the one that got away more? And I know we got to go, but just because of what I watched last night, Sam or Daniel Jones? I mean, Sam. Well, it doesn't that for me anyway. It just feels like they had the number 2 pick and they had to make a choice. And at the time, it's like, well, the obvious thing to do is reset the quarterback because you don't want to have to pay Sam.
Right.
So just take a quarterback at 2 and move on. And my God, they took a guy that obviously can't play in the league. And Sam has turned into what you thought he'd be when he was the number 3 pick in the draft out of USC. And it's kind of, you didn't think Sam was going to be a mega star top 5 quarterback, but you knew you had to feel like this guy's going to be a good quarterback in the league. And he's become that. But Daniel Jones and what he's doing now, too, it's like the guy that you took and were supposed to be your future, you move on from, and he's figured it out.
That's a great question.
God, which one is going to hurt their previous franchise more?
Obviously, the sample size is greater for Sam. We're only talking 3 games for Daniel. We had a whole 13-win season plus here with Sam.
No, Sam's a guy. Sam's a real guy.
He's a guy.
But we'll see. Well, it may not age well for either of the teams, and knowing the history, it probably won't. 1-800-919-3776. We got our picks coming up at 5:45. We've got E&N coming up at 6. We're out at Dodge coming up at 6:30 because then it's Mets Marlins right here on ESPN New York.
Oh, guys, let's fire up your Saturdays, okay? Because FanDuel has a boost that you don't want to miss. It's called Boostin' with the Boys, and it's giving everyone a college football profit boost every single week. So here's how it works. Each week, they're giving everyone a profit boost to use on college football. No opt-in, gymnastics, nothing. No invite-only nonsense. Everyone gets the boost. We're talking real games, real teams, real Saturdays with an extra payout on the line. It's easy, it's fun, and it's only on FanDuel. Go to FanDuel.com/Peter to download the app. Check out the Boostin' with the Boys offer and get it on the action. 21 and over and physically present in New York. Opt-in required. Bonus issued as non-withdrawable profit boost tokens. Restrictions apply, including any token expiration and max wager amount. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. For help with a gambling problem, call 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY 467-369.
Are you ready to make a difference for the environment while helping the visually impaired at the same time? Then donate your vehicle to Heritage for the Blind today by calling 1-800-983-6530. Every donated vehicle will either be properly recycled in an eco-friendly manner or given a new life through reuse. Donating your vehicle is easy. Simply call 1-800-983-6530 and Heritage for the Blind will do the rest. They'll even arrange for your vehicle to be picked up at no cost to you. And for a limited time, when you donate your car, you'll receive a $200 restaurant voucher and a 2-night, 3-day hotel stay at one of 50 locations. Call 1-800-983-6530 right now to schedule your vehicle donation and make a positive impact on the environment while helping others. Heritage for the Blind, where every car donation counts and every person makes a difference. Call 1-800-983-6530 now. This advertisement is paid for by Heritage for the Blind.
You know so much about who you are. But do you know what makes your body your body? With over 100 lab tests and insights, Function can help you know the truth. Because you know you're made of grit, wit, and a good heart. But just how healthy is that heart? You know you're made up of all the places you've called home. You know you're made of your mom's sarcasm. And now you can find out if you have her thyroid too. You know you're made of college all-nighters and 30s early-nighters, but those still don't explain your sleep issues. You know that you're made up of good meals with even better conversation. But are you actually absorbing those nutrients? A Function membership gives you a comprehensive health check with results tracked over time. Find out what you're made of at functionhealth.com.
Shop great new offers at Bay Ridge Mazda. Lease the 2025 Mazda CX-5S for as low as $239 per month or finance for 2.9% APR for 36 months. They will take any trade-in and accept all lease returns, even if you didn't lease with them. Plus, enjoy Bay Ridge Plus benefits like ding and dent coverage, key replacement, windshield protection, and roadside assistance, all included. Visit them in Brooklyn or online at BayRidgeMazda.com. Bay Ridge Mazda, where confidence comes standard. See dealer for details.
And now it's time for traffic. Here's Brandy Scott.
Thanks so much, guys. If you're heading over to the Yanks game in the Bronx using the inbound, George doing better on the lower deck. They picked up that broken down car, just about a 10 to 15 minute ride. Upper level going to run you about the same. Deegan just jammed in both directions, heading over to the stadium with the volume for the outbound, George. Northbound, delays go back across the Triborough and up onto the Bruckner. Southbound side, stopping a ride from the Mosholu on down. Outbound Lincoln going to run you about 20 to 30 minutes. Outbound Hahn, 45 plus. UBS Arena tonight, preseason hockey. Islanders taking on the Devils. If you're heading that way, already solid on the Cross Island southbound. Bumper to bumper from the Throgs Neck Bridge in Queens through to Hempstead Turnpike. This report is sponsored by Parkwiz. New Yorkers know the hacks, and here's one for parking. Reserve ahead and pay up to 50% less in drive-up rates. With Parkwiz, you could book your parking in advance, skip the hassle of searching, and save every time. Download the Parkwiz app today. I'm Brandy Scott on 880 ESPN New York.
You matter, and so does your well-being. Call, text, or chat 988, New Jersey Suicide and Crisis Lifeline, for free 24/7 support with mental health, suicide, or substance use concerns for you or someone you love. A message from the New Jersey Department of Human Services.
Do you owe $10,000 or more in credit card debt or personal loans? With credit card debt at all-time highs, Debt Relief Advocates is urgently notifying consumers of debt relief now being made available, designed to aid consumers with out-of-control credit card debt. Those who qualify and enroll for this relief program will only have to pay back a fraction of what they owe. This is not bankruptcy or a debt consolidation loan. This is a relief program that credit card companies would rather you not know about, as it ends your debt nightmare and saves you lots of money. Consumers owing at least $10,000 in credit card debt or personal loans can now take advantage of this debt relief as the cost of living skyrockets. Debt Relief Advocates has established a relief hotline for you to call to learn what debt reduction you may qualify for, so don't wait. For this free information, call the Relief Hotline at 800-606-8737. 800-606-8737. 800-606-8737.
There's a lot of reasons why people buy at Ramsey Mazda. It's their selection, it's their customer service, and it's their savings. Lease a new 25 Mazda CX-30 for $199 for 33 months. Start shopping now at RamseyMazda.com. Choose wisely. Choose Ramsey Mazda. Call 833-853-2970 for details. VIN SM843629. MSRP $26,865. Zero security deposit. Ends 9/30/25.
Get ready for a new Monday Night Football experience with the ESPN New York Couchcast when the Jets take on the Dolphins for their Week 4 divisional matchup. Settle in on the couch and join the Altcast with all of your favorite ESPN New York personalities for instant reaction, unfiltered commentary, and behind-the-mic banter. Stream live on our YouTube page from kickoff to the final whistle. Grab your snacks and watch the game with the pros. It's the ESPN New York Couchcast presented by Calandra's Bakery, Jacob's Pickles, and driven by the All-American Ford Group, your giant Ford auto group with giant savings and a giant selection. That's Monday, September 29th. Start at 7 o'clock right after our show on the ESPN New York YouTube channel. So we're really looking forward to that, getting a chance to see guys we don't normally get a chance to see all the time. It should be a lot of fun. Let's hear from you at 1-800-919-3776. Always cool to talk to Griffin in Connecticut. How are you, buddy?
Hey, guys. How are you doing?
Good. How are you?
I'm good. I just want to let you guys know I will not be talking to you next week at all. I will be on a cruise.
Uh-oh.
Oh, yeah.
That time of year.
To Bermuda,
Oh, yeah.
Oh, my man's about to get it cracking again. Young Griffster. Now, Griff, you got some
So I
outfits?
just wanted to let you...
You got some outfits to wow
Yeah.
the ladies with on the boat?
Oh, my God.
What do you
You're
mean?
going. Wait a
I
minute.
just wanted to let you know that, so I wanted to let you guys know that, so when you go to hear from me, you're not
That's good
worried.
to know.
We're not
Have
going to
Have a
worry.
great time. Have a great time.
We're not going to worry about you. We're
I
going to
want
have
to talk.
fun.
I want to talk about Jackson Dart this weekend. I got a message for Giant fans. I don't want them to get sucked into these preseason games expecting him to be great like he was in preseason. If he goes out there and has a little struggles, not saying really bad struggles, but has a couple of struggles versus a very good Chargers defense, don't call in on Monday and say he's not the guy. We got to get rid of him. Why did we draft him? We made the wrong choice. Don't get sucked into what the preseason was and expecting that to happen in the first game and its actual football play at its great number ones. That was not happening in preseason, people. Do not get sucked into what happened in preseason. Preseason means nothing. So don't get sucked into that thinking he's going to do that versus the Chargers. So don't call in and say he's not the guy. Please do not.
It's a fair point, Griffin. Thank you, buddy.
Well said.
It's a fair point. And to think that Griffin was so concerned about making sure people don't get sucked in, and all I was concerned about was making sure Griffin does get sucked in.
Exactly. It is a cruise after all. There's
things
one of the 2 or 3 reasons you go on a cruise. So
2 or 3.
He acts like I'm nuts. I just want the guy to go have let his hair down a little bit.
I don't think we have to worry about Giant fans throwing him away after a bad game. If anything, I think we'd have to worry about him playing well and fans going a little too crazy over a positive performance. But I think Giant fans, I don't think their expectations are going to be that through the roof. I mean, they don't want to see somebody that doesn't look like he belongs. I don't think that'll be the case. But I do. I could see win or lose. But if you put some decent numbers, fans going ballistic in a positive way.
Oh yeah. Well, that's what you're looking. You know what you want? You want that one play. That's all you want. You want that one moment, one play, one something where it's like, did you see him? Did you see him on that third down? Right? When he like whatever he does. That's what you want. You want to have that one little magic moment that just makes you feel like, okay, there's something there. That's all you're looking for. You don't want him seeing ghosts. That would be bad.
No, that's a lot. That is the one thing you cannot have.
You just don't want that. You don't want a butt fumble. That would be bad. These are all
back.
Jets things. So that's why the Giants don't have to worry about stuff like that.
Now,
they just have to have a kicker. Can Dart kick, by the way?
Not that I'm aware of.
Yeah.
Now looking at Eli's career, he got into a handful of snaps at Philly in September of his rookie year, and then at Minnesota he appeared in the game but didn't throw a pass. So his first actual start was at home against Atlanta. 17 of 37, completed 47.9% of his passes, 162 yards, touchdown, 2 interceptions. That's kind of what you figure you're going to do in your first NFL start, right, on a bad team. Or not that the Giants were bad, but and then it didn't get much better after that. It took a long time before he did anything in that first year. But that's probably what you're looking for, right? You're going to see like a guy that'll have some moments. I'm with you. You want to see something. You know what you want to see is, here's what I want to see, Alan. Russell Wilson wouldn't be able to do that. Like that play that you were talking about in that first game against Washington where he didn't hit the corner in the red zone and he ended up throwing the ball away, right?
Yeah, he had a boot. He could have just gone right to the pylon.
And if that play happens and he takes it to the pylon and scores, you'll come in on Monday and say, see, that's something Russell Wilson wouldn't have done.
Or, for example, you get the ball first and goal inside the 5, and on one of the 3 plays, you don't throw the ball out of the back of the end zone. That's the kind of thing you're hoping to see.
You don't hit the mascot.
Yeah, one ball you try to throw into the end zone to a guy wearing blue. That's great.
Here are the things that are not in his control. The Giants are one of the worst in the league at taking penalties. Jackson Dart can't control that, can he? Unless his cadence is off and his offensive line is a mess.
Right,
where
the
they're having trouble with
penalties if they're not on the same page.
Yeah, like you got to worry about stuff like that. You've got to worry about Justin Herbert just slicing and dicing on your defense. You got to worry about that. Jackson Dart can't control that. The Giant defense gives up points, and he's got to now chase, because you don't want a rookie quarterback in his first start chasing a scoreboard, because that means he's got to throw more. And that's when you start getting desperate, and that's when you start seeing the warts.
And now, but what he'll do is he'll kind of set the tone. So then next week against New Orleans, on the road against a bad team, then be a little bit better. Then the short turnaround against Philadelphia, I don't know what you expect at that point. But just see a quarterback gradually get better. And that's what I'm just looking at Eli's first year. The first game where Eli looked like he got it was in Week 15 at home against Pittsburgh. It was a Saturday. They lost that game 33-30, but they hung in the game. He threw for like 200 yards, completed 70% of his pass, looked good, almost won the game. But that was like several weeks in. It took a while, and it's going to take a while here too. Just want to see it get better.
Mm-hmm.
And how does he look the series after a pick? Does he look beaten, or does he look like a guy that wants to go out there and be better in the next drive? Stuff like that.
It's little things. It's in the huddle. What does he look like? Like that's the is he steaming Willie Beeman and he's throwing up, or does he look like he's in control? That's what you want to see, how the guys respond around him. That first series he's in, it's going to be scripted. It's going to be very conservative, very scripted. They just want to get him into the game. And so I would not expect a lot of fireworks, but I am looking at body. You nailed it, Don. I'm looking at body language. I'm looking at what are the players around him. That's what you want to see. Is he putting some – is he giving the team some energy that they desperately need at 0-3?
Let's go to Danny, Long Island. You're on ESPN
there he is.
New York. What's up, Danny?
First of all, I have a fraud. I don't even need there to be a judge. Listen to this guy. Working with this guy last Sunday, I picked up a Sunday shift by accident. He's a big football fan. He shows up he turns the computer on the desk to the NFL.com. He brings his own laptop, and he's on the phone. He's got 3 things going, like Rothenberger. I tell him I'm a Steeler fan. He says, ready for this, Don? They're one of my 3 favorite teams.
Okay.
So I give him a look. What? Yeah, the Jets, the Steelers, and the Ravens.
Wait a minute.
I give him a look like Ravens and Steelers, 2 of his favorite teams. I give him a look like a parent who's disappointed in their kid. I shake my head. I walk out. I don't speak to him for the next 6 hours.
Favorite team.
How are you a football fan with 3 teams? One of them the Steelers, one of them the Ravens.
He's not a football fan, but he probably gambles.
Yeah, maybe that's
what I didn't.
And they do well.
No, listen, we all have our second favorite team on a Sunday afternoon.
Of course.
But listen, rooting for Dart. I mean, I don't root for obviously I don't root for the Jags. I always root for the local teams to do well to playing against my team, and the amount of misery that we have to deal with. Who wants to deal with it? I mean, it's not good for radio. It's not good for radio. No one wants to listen to the radio after the Giants. We want to have winning teams here for a change. So having said that, if Jackson Dart goes out and throws 3 touchdowns, what's the headline of the Post? Throwing darts or jacked up?
Throwing darts. Now, I suggested in our meeting what it could be if he completely wets the bed. And I don't think I'm allowed to say it on the air, but I could see the Post using that as a headline.
I also think they're going to come out and they're going to let him play because Dable's going to say, we're trying to win the game. He's ready to be an NFL quarterback. Let's let him be an NFL quarterback. You're not going to win the game by handing the ball twice to one running back we don't even know.
I don't think they'll intentionally dumb it down. I just don't know how much of the offense he knows, not even a month into the season. That's the thing.
Yeah,
you can only play the plays he knows, right?
I think they're going to play a lot of Ole Miss stuff. That's what I think. It's what he knows.
Yeah. If you were planning on putting him in week 5 or 6 regardless, that should have been the plan to insert those plays 4 months ago, not just so he's been working on those plays. So they're going to go to plays that he knows very well.
Yep.
You talk about how's he going to look after the first interception. How is he going to look when he's just been hit harder than he's ever been hit in his life? Because the first thing every NFL drafted player has to prove is I can stay on the field because everybody on this field is now bigger, stronger, faster, and hits harder. Everything I've ever done is irrelevant competition-wise because even in the preseason when they show you these highlights of Dart, there isn't even a defensive player in the picture when these guys are catching. That's not the way it's going to look on Sunday. It's going to be this guy's open. You got to throw the ball. Does it look like he's open compared to? But you're going to get hit. You're going to get hit hard, and let's see if he can do that. I wish him all luck in the world.
They can't do it in practice. I know he was on the scout team and he played the role of Mahomes last week in preparation for Kansas City, and apparently did a very good job. The thing that he is going to notice first and foremost is how fast it is, because it's not like that in practice, and it wasn't like that in the preseason when you had guys that are like second and third teamers chasing after you. These are going to be the big boys, okay? And it is going to be faster than anything he's ever seen before. That's where it comes. I think he could take a hit. He had some big boys hit him when he was at Ole Miss. That was a big-time program. He faced draft picks. He faced good – yeah.
Well, that's the G League SEC, right?
But the speed of it is going to be just, I think, incredibly overwhelming to him early on. That's what I've always heard from draft picks. Like, they just could not believe how fast it was compared to college and the preseason and practice. It's going to be fifth gear, and he's going to have to adjust to it real quick. Real quick. Picks coming up next. It's not going to be a very long segment because you already know my two. I'm just going to give you a quick, and of course we've got Peter's already got his 3-point play.
You got your survivors too, right?
You got to have survivor.
Mm-hmm.
I've been out since the glitch early.
Oh, that's right. Don's already.
There's no survivor.
He called it the glitch.
Well, that's what happened.
I've been out since the glitch.
They didn't fix
Peter,
the glitch.
Peter, did you know he had the glitch?
Oh, I heard about
Don
the glitch.
had the glitch.
I heard about the glitch.
I'm sorry about that, Don.
Don, Hahn, and Rosenberg on ESPN New York.
Good Karma Brands is proud to be an equal opportunity employer, providing equal employment, development, and advancement opportunities to all teammates and applicants. To learn more about careers with us, please send an email to talentacquisition@goodkarmabrands.com. That's talentacquisition@goodkarmabrands.com.
The Ryder Cup is more than golf. It's a global celebration. And this year, Ryder Cup Live makes you part of it all. Cheer with fans at Rockefeller Center. Join watch parties at New York's favorite bars. Or host your own unforgettable gathering with Ryder Cup Live fan kits. Whether you're in the city, on Long Island, or at home with friends, you can rally behind your team and share in the energy of golf's biggest stage. The Ryder Cup. It's not just a match, it's a movement.
This is an ad by BetterHelp. We all turn to some funny places for support, but not everyone is a therapist. Not everyone is the one. Find your right match with BetterHelp. BetterHelp does the initial matching work for you so you can focus on your therapy goals. A short questionnaire helps identify your needs and preferences, and their 10-plus years of experience and industry-leading match fulfillment rate means they typically get it right the first time. If you aren't happy with your match, switch to a different therapist at any time from their tailored recs. You can join a session with a therapist at the click of a button, helping you fit therapy into your busy life. Plus, switch therapists at any time. As the largest online therapy provider in the world, BetterHelp can provide access to mental health professionals with a diverse variety of expertise. Find the one with BetterHelp. Our listeners get 10% off their first month at betterhelp.com/timeout. That's betterhelp.com/timeout.
Oh, what are you doing? Don't do New York City dirty.
New York City's my heart, my soul. I would never do this place dirty because everything I want is in this city.
Why would you want to dirty somewhere that you live?
This is your home. You don't throw papers out the window, flick cigarette butts.
It's disrespectful. Dispose of it the correct way.
I would never put trash on the ground. That's why we got trash cans. Don't do New York City dirty. Trash your trash.
A message from the Sanitation Foundation.
One by one, we keep this city clean, man. Let's get it.
From kickoff to cash out, ESPN Bet has the tools you need to score more on game days. Bet smarter with stats at your fingertips. Get personalized parlays built just for you. And with your fantasy team synced right in the app, you can back your squad. Right now, new customers get $100 in bonus bets when you bet $10. Sign up with promo code USL to get started. Must be 21 plus. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Terms and conditions apply. See app for details. Offer not available in New York.
Empower. Tim collects bobbleheads. A lot of bobbleheads. Baseball bobbleheads. Race car bobbleheads. Little chihuahua bobbleheads. He's got an entire room strictly for bobbleheads. Does he need them? No. Is his wife mad about it? A little. But Tim works with Empower, and he got good at money, so he can be a little bad. Ooh, horse bobblehead. Classy, Tim. Empower. Invest well, live a little. Start today at empower.com.
Get to know your favorite ESPN New York personalities with our newest app feature, the ESPN New York Pick of the Day. Open the ESPN New York app and click on the Pick of the Day tile to find an opinion.
I'm a loser. No, that's not feeling it.
That's feeling it. Suggestion.
Feel this then, okay?
Or hot take.
Explain it to me, like I'm an idiot.
Whether it's betting advice, food picks, or general commentary.
Be fruitful and multiply.
It's a great way to stay connected to your favorite personalities. Download the free ESPN New York app today and listen to all your favorite shows and podcasts.
It doesn't matter if you're running drills at the park, playing pickup on a Saturday, or sinking the final putt. When you compete with your friends with Michelob Ultra on the line, competition isn't that friendly. The trash talk, next level, and the stakes, oh, those are crystal clear. With only 95 calories and superior smooth taste, it's the ultimate trophy. Superior is worth playing for. Michelob Ultra, superior light beer. Enjoy responsibly. Copyright 2025, Anheuser-Busch Michelob Ultra Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
There's nothing the voice in our head obsesses over like our health. But with over 100 lab tests and insights, Function can help answer the questions like, why am I so tired all the time? How can I get better sleep? My friend was telling me about magnesium gummies she takes. How do I even know if my heart is work stress affected? It's time to up my cardio. If my mom has something, how would I find out? It's time to get some blood work done. A Function membership gives you a comprehensive health check with results tracked over time. Find out what you're made of at functionhealth.com.
To help those who want to be helped but may not be able to afford it.
That's what PGA Tour winner Grayson Murray had envisioned for a foundation before he sadly took his own life at just 30 years old. His parents channeled their grief into creating the Grayson Murray Foundation, carrying out his vision to help those struggling with mental health and addiction. To donate and learn more, visit GraysonMurrayFoundation.com.
It's hard to believe it's week 4. It's time for our picks.
What's the game called?
Football. These are the Don, Hahn, and Rosenberg Pro Picks.
That's football!
Alan Hahn's our leader with 9 points. I've got 7. Peter with his 3-point play last night now has 4 points.
Back, baby. Back.
So, because Alan is our fearless leader, he is going to go first.
Oh, okay. My 1-point play, Don, you saw it. You thought I was going to fall for the banana and tailpipe. Not doing it. Chargers, I'll lay the 6.5 at the Giants. It's also my survivor pick, by the way.
Whoa.
I'm all in. Wow. Giants, yes, Jackson Dart. It's going to be fun. There'll be some energy and all that stuff. But the Chargers' defense is like one of the best in the NFL in red zone defensive efficiency. So now when Jackson Dart goes in the red zone, he's going up against the best defense in the red zone. Good luck. Now, they'll get a spark. I think it'll be an interesting game. But come on. The Chargers are trying to do something they haven't done since 2002. That's win 4 straight games to start the season. So there's my 1-pointer and my survivor. My 2-pointer. This is a good game, or at least it looks like it on paper. It might not be, though. Ravens, I'll lay the 2.5 against the Chiefs. The Chiefs have to understand that despite the fact they're not that same team, they still are the hunted. Teams like Baltimore want to beat them, and this usually feels like a good game. I don't know if it's going to be. And then my 3-point play, I think Indiana Jones finally meets the Temple of Doom. Ooh. They go to the Rams. The Rams are laying 3.5 at home. I think this is where it ends for Daniel Jones. Remember, the Rams should have won last week. They blew a big lead. Wow. That's a really good team. And I think for the Colts, their undefeated run ends in L.A.
I gotta tell you,
three.
I love your picks. And the last 2, I don't have them in my picks up for the air, but I have them in my cover 5.
Yeah, I have 2 others in my cover 5. Okay. Yep.
So we're kind of on the same page there. I guess I'll go second. You already know 2 of them. But the 1-point play I'm going to go with is I think the Texans get it going here. I'm a little afraid of the hook at 7.5. Pretty extensive, but
ooh, Donnie.
Tennessee and their head coach Brian Callahan, 3-17 under Callahan against the spread. That is the worst against the spread in 20 games in the Super Bowl era. Tennessee has kind of given up, and the Texans have got to get well. So even though the hook scares me a little bit, I think the Texans get well, cover the number at home against the Tennessee team that looks like they've already tapped out. I already told you about the Jets as my 2-point play. Now I'm going to just tell you why quickly. 2 of the 3 games they've played well. The Dolphins are a mess. I know they did a pretty decent job hanging with the Bills. So we still a ton of Jet fans in Miami. Jets not great against the spread in prime time, 22-33, but we have seen them come up with efforts where they hang. A couple of years ago against Kansas City, of course, that big win against Buffalo on prime time. So I really love the Jets. It's 2.5. I think the Jets win the game outright, to be honest with you. They get on the horse. They cover the 2.5. They go to Miami and they win as a dog on the road against the Dolphins is my 2-point play. And I just love the Packers getting well. All right, they got shocked by a really good defense with the Cleveland Browns. They're going to face an awful defense in Dallas. Under Matt LaFleur, the Packers are 61-42 against the spread. I'm getting less than a touchdown at 6.5. I love the Packers to get well on this Cowboys defense. That's my 3-point play.
1, 2, 3-point play. All right,
Petey.
Well, I'm in trouble, as you guys know.
But you know, it all starts with a simple first step.
It does. And by the way, last week I thought I'd already turned the corner because I picked the Rams and felt so glorious about them beating the Eagles. And, of course, that didn't happen. No cover happened. Speaking of which, I'm in lockstep with Alan. I'd like to gain ground on him, but I can't. I love the Rams. How about this, Alan? Mm-hmm. Our Cover 5 app is confusing to know who's playing where. I liked them at 3.5, thinking they were an Indy.
Oh
no!
And then Alan said in L.A., and I went, I'll take him at 7.5.
Colts at Rams, 4:05 Eastern, baby.
So I like the Rams a lot there. The Colts have been solid, no question, particularly at home. But give me the Rams. They're going to be angry, and let's not forget this is a Rams team that basically dominated the Eagles for 3 quarters. They're gonna make things ugly for the Colts on Sunday, making my 2-point pick. There is not a whole lot out there on the board that I like, and it's interesting because normally I really have been trying to stay away from my team. Commanders are down Terry, they're down Jaden, and they're going to Atlanta, who last week Alan and Don both liked and turned out to be pure hot garbage.
I do it again.
And Don would do it again because he thinks he was right and they were wrong. It's not a sexy pick, but even with the backups in, give me the Commies on the short line on the road. I watched this team play a similar sort of level team last week in the Raiders. The Commanders are not a world beater, certainly not without Terry McLaurin and Jaden Daniels, but they're a solid defensive team with a nice running attack and in Marcus Mariota, an undervalued quarterback for how he fits into Cliff Kingsbury's scheme. I'll take the Commies given the short 1.5 as my 1-point play. Commies for 1, Rams for 2.
You know what I'm
reminder
gonna need,
for every.
I'm sorry. I think Jake needs to have this when we do the picks because I see a trend with Peter already.
All right.
We need Lisa and the Cult Jam, Lost in Emotion. We got to play that song when Peter does this. You are so in emotion right now.
Is that really an emotional pick? I don't know.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah, 100%.
You guys see that game different? I didn't notice either of you guys pounding the Falcons.
Well, I'm not on either of that.
Not a bird guy.
Not big into bird.
A reminder for everyone playing ESPN New York Survivor, make your pick before Sunday's 1 o'clock games. After 3 weeks, we've lost 1,888 players, including me and Chris Carlin. Again, they didn't fix the glitch, leaving 1,227 still eligible for the $5,000 grand prize. Now, follow along on the ESPN New York app, powered by SplashSports.com. Let me just squeeze in Moose in Jamaica. What do you got, Moose?
Listen, this is Fraud Friday. By the way, what's up, guys? Good evening.
What's up, baby?
Moose.
All right, chillin'. So I'm a fraud NBA fan and also a fraud NFL fan, but I'm here to talk about the NBA, right? I was growing up in New York City being I'm trying to have my fraud, status removed or changed to something less derogatory. So basically, I was a Knicks fan up until like the 2001-2002 draft, and if you remember on MSG, Spike Lee was talking about how great the picks were, the trade was with Zach Randolph, and I'm like banging my head against the wall.
Love Zach. I love
Dick.
Dick.
This is the dumbest trick.
I remember it.
Pause.
Yep.
So like I'm banging my head like this is a terrible trade, and we sucked ever since then.
Wait.
Like,
I just Moose, please, just one, because I want to keep up. When was this?
Early
2001 or 2002 draft. The year of Nicholas Skillisbilly. We traded Nene. We drafted Nene, traded him for somebody who didn't even make the team a year after. So
what did you do? What did you do?
Wasn't that Antonio McDice?
So I ended up being a fan of players because I was playing ball at the park, trying to make basketball teams in middle school and high school, modeling my game after certain players. I fell in love with Dwayne Wade, T-Mac, Kobe, you name it, in the 2000s. So that's how I was basically being a fan of players. And then I never really picked up a team devout, per se, but I was watching in 2014 the Eastern Conference second round, and the Brooklyn Nets were playing, and I was like, I need to be a fan. My friend who was watching with me, living in the house.
So are you still a Net fan? Because we got to get to the bottom of this. It's taking too long.
I'm still a Knicks fan, a Net fan, been watching since the losing, never left them, even was against the James Harden trade because I thought we were good enough to win without him, but you know what that turned into. I'm trying, I listen to the games if I can't watch them on the radio and stuff like that. So I'm trying to have it's been like 11 years of not rooting. I didn't want to go back to the Knicks because that's
all right, Moose, thank you for the call. And the fraud status is me for taking it. There's a lot of reasons why people buy at Ramsey Mazda. It's their selection, it's their customer service, and it's their savings. Get 1.9% financing on a new Mazda 2025 CX-50 or lease for $249 for 33 months. Start shopping now at RamseyMazda.com. Choose wisely. Choose Ramsey Mazda. Call 833-853-2970 for lease details. VIN SN354688. MSRP $32,945. Zero security deposit. APR $17.48 per $1,000 finance. Ends 9/30/25. I am a fraud. ENN's coming up next on ESPN New York.
Game time isn't just on the field. It's in your driveway, too. At Kia City of the Bronx, they're making plays with the full lineup of brand new Kias ready for you at 3505 Connor Street. Don't sit on the sidelines while your dream car drives by. Visit KiaCity.com or call 646-917-7955 and they'll get you behind the wheel of something fresh. Kia City of the Bronx. This is how the Bronx drives.
And now let's take a look at the traffic with Brandy Scott.
Thanks a million, guys. I hope you have a great rest of the night and an awesome weekend. We've got the Yanks home tonight in the Bronx and a big jersey hoodie giveaway. If you're heading that way using the inbound, George, stick with the lower deck about 15 to 20 minutes. Upper level about a 20 to 30-minute ride. Cross Bronx westbound at a standstill heading over to the Deegan. Big crash by Webster Avenue involving a smashed-up sports car. Only the right lane is squeezing by. You're stopped there from the Bruckner. Deegan just packed both up and down, approaching the stadium with the volume for the outbound, George. Outbound Lincoln already about 20 to 30 minutes. Outbound Hull now back up to an hour. Gridlock alert day with the UN General Assembly still in town. Definitely want to avoid the east side of Midtown, especially 1st and 2nd Avenues. Preseason hockey over at the UBS Arena. Islanders are hosting the Devils tonight. Bumper-to-bumper ride on the Cross Island southbound from the Throgs Neck Bridge. I'm Brandy Scott on 880 ESPN New York.
Cashback is not available on gas in New Jersey and Wisconsin. $5,000. That's the average amount of money people in the U.S. are now spending on gas in a year. $5,000. That's crazy. If you drive, you have to download Upside, the free app that gives you cash back every time you get gas. That's right. You can earn real cash back with Upside just by buying the gas you're already buying. You can literally start earning cash back today.
I use Upside every time I fill up, and I've already made around $200-$300.
You're putting gas in your car anyway. Why not get real cash back? If you like free money, download Upside.
I'm saving the cash I earn from using Upside to help pay for a vacation later this year.
Download the free Upside app now to earn cash back every time you buy gas. Use promo code FAME25 to get an extra 25 cents per gallon on your first tank. You can cash out anytime right to your bank, PayPal, or a gift card for Amazon and other brands. Just download the free Upside app and use promo code FAME25 for a 25 cents per gallon bonus on your first tank. That's code FAME25 for a 25 cents per gallon bonus.
From kickoff to cash out, ESPN Bet has the tools you need to score more on game days. Bet smarter with stats at your fingertips. Get personalized parlays built just for you. And with your fantasy team synced right in the app, you can back your squad. Right now, new customers get $100 in bonus bets when you bet $10. Sign up with promo code USL to get started. Must be 21 plus. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Terms and conditions apply. See app for details. Offer not available in New York.
Every great team has its core players, but when the season gets tough, adding the right free agent can make all the difference. The same goes for business. At Robert Half, we found that 67% of companies surveyed plan to increase their use of contract talent to handle workload peaks and backlogged projects. With Robert Half's specialized recruiters experience, combined with our award-winning AI, you can quickly find the skilled candidates you want. At Robert Half, we know talent. Discover how we can help at roberthalf.com/talent.
Put it in the book. This is your radio home for New York Mets baseball. 880 ESPN, WHSQ, and WCBS-FM HD2, New York. This is an ENN special report. Now reporting.
The very handsome Jewish man, Peter Rosenberg.
We should talk some sports. Do what you want. It's ENN.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to ENN.
Ray-Ro.
You ever watch YouTube?
Now listen, I want to handle a couple of things before we even get into ENN. All right, first and foremost, let's get the let me give you this first. I want to hit you with your update. Yeah, your update for your leaderboard, brought to you by Schweppes. U.S. start of the day, not great. Almost found themselves down 4-0, instead 3-1 early on in the first part of the Ryder Cup, all in front of President Trump. He couldn't have loved that, especially considering he walked out the first group to the tee box.
We were down before. We were down in 1776. Came back in that one, too.
That's quite the comp. That's your leaderboard update presented by Schweppes. Schweppes offers a hole-in-one refreshment experience and is proud to sponsor PGA of America. Enhance your summer with Schweppes Seltzer or Schweppes Ginger Ale. Now, the other thing I want to get out of the way here, I just was struck with something I believe a stroke of genius.
What's up?
Now, Moose's call was so bad, so unbelievably awful, that I would like to crown it the worst call of all time.
All time.
Well, but hear me out. We have to come up with a name for what it is to be the worst call of all time. If you are the worst call of all, moving forward, this is my thought. You guys tell me what you think. If you give us, and it could often be Richard, if you give us what we rule is the worst call of all time or of the time or whatever we call it, you are banned until someone replaces you as the worst call of all time.
I like this. I like that. That's a great stipulation.
I just feel bad because
we love Moose.
I'm partially responsible for why that call was bad. I should have never taken it.
But didn't Nas? So Nas was banned because that call 2 days ago about trade Garrett Cole.
Unreal how bad that was. And
that
now
was really bad. So Nas is back.
Nas would
Moose
now
is
be
out.
back, and Moose from Queens, who we love, would now have to wait and just hope we pick up a Richard call soon.
Moose was high as a kite.
Now, what do you guys think of this though? People,
No, I like it.
That way we get to root. That way when the call starts getting bad, listeners are rooting. Get worse. Just be worse.
It's just one more thing now for Anthony to keep track of.
He loves that.
Now he has to write this down in the control room on the wall. So we have it. You remember it was X amount of days since a Don rant. We almost have to now have ban call.
Current worst caller.
Who
Or
is?
It's like a ranking, and if you're at the AP number 1 worst caller, you have to get knocked out before you call back in. All right, just a thought that.
It's a new thing on the show. Got it. Like it.
All right, guys. Welcome to ENN. I'd like to start off this big old ENN by saying good evening, please, to Don and Alan.
So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
It's 6. Okay.
All gave you,
and no one gave up a run.
Yeah, I mean it's. Oh my God.
What's the matter?
That we are, it ends up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, you were right, 5.
Okay.
I can't count.
I can't.
I hate math.
And that's why I can't do math because I can't count.
Hate math.
Good evening to Don.
They're not playing for him, Coach. Well, let them learn.
Good evening to myself.
Water scares me.
And good evening to Lloyd and Harry again.
Radio? Who needs the radio?
Amen.
And by the way, I think it's the motto of this radio station.
God bless.
And then good evening to Griffin.
Huh.
No, I forget it's gone.
He's already on the
Ambassador Johnson?
Yeah, sure.
No.
I drive a Dodge Stratus!
No, listen.
Straw.
I see a comment.
What is? No, I'm serious. You are funny. He's the man of a team that could win a title this year, and he's whining. I don't get people.
I love how angry Griffin gets about things that are just like not even his to be angry about. Like, why does Griffin get so upset about people being invested in Jackson Dart and thinking he's going to look like the preseason? He was so angered by this.
Hey, listen.
Whoop-de-doo!
You can't choose what pisses you off. It just does.
It finds you.
Yeah.
That's a great point, buddy.
But he
the
does
guy
sound
did not
like
fall out of a friggin'. He did not fall off a friggin' cliff and forgot how to hit a baseball.
3 times. Good.
Doesn't it feel like though when he does go on a rant that he's got his fists balled up like when he's doing it?
Oh yeah, like the meme.
He's great though. Hope he has a great time on the cruise.
Yeah.
Now, we love Griffin. Have a great time, buddy. And if you find a phone line, give us a shout out.
I hope that great time is the first time.
Amen. Never forget it.
God bless. Can you find the God bless drop? I think that needs an official.
Yeah, we need that.
It needs the official. When Don says he hopes Griffin's best time is the first time, it deserves this.
I got to tell you.
No, it's hard. It's a hard one.
It's a Friday.
That's hard. It's a hard one to find. You'll find it. It's fine. We'll get there.
I don't want it now.
Now listen.
I don't want it now.
It's too late now.
No, that was so subtle.
Now,
I don't want it now. No.
You just mentioned liking the Ravines, Alan.
Yes.
Well, it should be noted that Xavier Worthy, Kansas City's fastest wide receiver, and of course a major part of their offense, is expected to be back and in the lineup against the Ravines.
That's a big development.
On Sunday, yes. Also, if anyone out there is thinking about throwing down on the Jaguars and the Niners, Kyle Shanahan says QB Brock Purdy will be back in effect. Unfortunately,
in full effect.
The same cannot be said about Jaden Daniels. Commanders will be out without Jaden Daniels for the second week in a row. And this time without Terry McLaurin as well. Now, I heard from a source that I can't reveal.
Oh, boy.
Someone who is in the know, though. You would agree, Alan. This man who I talked to is in the know.
Very much.
Very much in the know.
Yes.
Said he is hearing Daniels back weeks 5 to 7. Which.
So this isn't precautionary then this week.
That's the if what I
so
heard.
It's really a sprain.
If what I heard is true, then yes, it feels like it's actually a sprain. And you would be looking at, here's the thing. The Commies have a pretty favorable schedule with the exception of the Chargers next week. You got to get by the Falcons, then you have the Chargers, but then they have Bears and Cowboys. I would love him to – listen, if you're worried about him, bring him back against the Cowboys. What could get you warmed up? Like playing the Michael-less Cowboys. But, yeah.
With no secondary.
Not
Great
an
point.
ideal situation, but
no, but also though, it like probably is a situation, Peter, that if we were in December and games mattered, I think he'd probably play. But this is one of those put him in bubble wrap, get him right, so there's not that lingering knee issue throughout the season.
well, as you pointed out,
gotta be fine with it.
As Alan points out, a sprain never goes away. It's a thing that can linger throughout a season. So if they're being hyper precautionary because they looked at the spot in the schedule and said, "Kid, we need you around after Thanksgiving. So we have a backup who's completely capable. Let's just give it a little bit of time and get you right." That is probably the smart football thing to do. Can't
and that
imagine
Commies Minute was brought to you by Nobody Gives a Damn.
Well,
no, I'm just kidding.
He's being.
I'm half kidding.
He's half kidding.
I'm half kidding.
Although it's the Daniels injuries up there among the top 2 or 3 talked about injuries.
And I'm
in the
sure
league.
there's some people that might have him in fantasy. So yeah, no,
He's a factor, I think.
Yeah, he's a
maybe
factor.
now the Giants have a chance in the division.
Oh, look at you, patting him on the head.
What year is this?
Oh no, it was sarcastic. I was slapping them in the back. It wasn't a pat on the head. That would have been if I meant it. It was more a smack on the back of the head, like just kidding, idiots. All right, let's talk more about the foosball.
That should play well too.
And locally. The Jets have the Dolphins on Monday night. We're going to do a couch cast, guys.
We are.
We're all going to be together. You can watch it on the ESPN New York YouTube channel. It's going to be a great time. Now, a few things about the Dolphins. First of all, let's hear from Cam Newton and his hat. A bit critical of Dolphins quarterback Tua Tagovailoa.
I'm disappointed. As I'm watching this game, there were signs of, he was in the rhythm. But this is the frustrating reality that we are faced with, not just as fans, but as people who observe this game. Tua Tagovailoa is making more than Patrick Mahomes, Justin Herbert, Lamar Jackson, Jalen Hurts, Baker Mayfield, Matthew Stafford, Jaden Daniels. Am I pocket watching? No. I'm putting things into perspective here. What Biggie say? More money, more problems. Well, in this case, it should be more money, more expectations.
Tua Tagovailoa responded to Cam in his hat.
Anybody can play quarterback in this league then. I want to see anybody on the streets come and play quarterback. I mean, Cam's doing his thing for sure, but I think it's easier to be able to hold a clicker and talk about it that way or talk about what someone else is doing wrong when you're not going out and having to do the same as them, right? So I think it's easy to do that. I think anybody can do that. I don't think anybody can play quarterback.
No, it's not the guy to do that to.
No, he did play quarterback.
Yeah, he won
play
MVP.
in the Super Bowl.
And he
played in the Super
dragged
Bowl,
the franchise to a Super Bowl. Like, that's not the guy.
But
like, if this was like, the non-athlete like myself saying
still
this
would be weak
on first
but
take,
it would still be weak.
I can understand why he tried to say that, but it's Cam. Like, as much as we say what we say about Cam Newton, because Cam Newton at times can be that
Newton
guy.
in 2015. If Tua Tagovailoa ever plays a season like Cam Newton played in 2015.
I don't think he has dreams about playing quarterback the way Cam Newton did that year.
And by the way, I love to hate on Cam Newton. He drives me nuts.
Oh no, he's the man with the hat. But of the people that you probably shouldn't clap back on, that's probably one.
Now, this could be me.
Go ahead.
But I honestly did not know that stat that Cam threw out about that the players he's higher paid than. Did you?
But it's a meaningless stat.
Well, the reason I think it's meaningless in football is once you become a starting quarterback, and there are automatically going to be expectations, no matter how much money he's making. I don't think there's any pressure on him based on the money he's making. I don't think people know or care. You're the quarterback in an NFL franchise. There were expectations where you were drafted. There were expectations around what you had done before when you were healthy. has nothing to do with the money. I don't
Everyone
follow
gets
the money.
You get the money. If you're up and you're playing good quarterback, which he was when he was up, you get a huge bag of cash. That's how it works.
Right.
I got news for you. He's not going to be paid more than Jaden Daniels when Jaden Daniels is up in 2 years. It's going to rotate around.
It's just about the timing. So I think fans usually don't care. We just assume quarterbacks are paid a lot of money. Who's higher paid? It doesn't matter. The expectations are based on, hey, we thought this kid was good, and their success in Miami's revolve around him, and there comes the pressure. You know, Josh Allen, the pressure comes from the fact he hasn't been able to win the big one yet, not how much money he's making. I think that's more of a baseball thing because we know the salaries and because there's no cap, there's automatic expectations on the amount of money the franchise paid for you. And with a small market, big market, I can't afford other guys. Because I don't think it's a quarterback. I think we just know they get paid a lot. And as soon as you become a starting quarterback, there's pressure.
It's a silly comp.
That's pocket watching.
Now back here to the Dolphins. This just in. A very emotional Dolphins defensive coordinator, Anthony Weaver, has said about his Dolphins defense, quote, "We're going to change the math through violence, and we're going to whip ass."
Oh, boy.
Watch out. Watch out, Justin. Watch out, Garrett. The Dolphins are coming to town with a chip on their shoulder. Violence.
That almost sounds like a Freddie Kitchens quote, not an Anthony Weaver quote. Doesn't it?
I'm going to change.
Read it like he would.
I'm going to go back to the quote now. Very confusing.
Read it like he would.
There you go. I needed that.
Yeah, you needed that.
I'm finding myself right here. I just want to say it's me, Freddie Key. And what I'm going to do here is I'm going to change the man. I'm going to change the man the only way I know how.
That's so stupid.
Through violence. You hear that? 1 + 1 equals whip ass. That's what I call Freddie Key-economics.
You got to say, hand me that can opener.
Now hand me that.
We're about to open this.
No. Hand me two things. I'm talking math. Pass me that TI-82 calculator and give me that can opener because it's whoop ass time.
Do you know that the Dolphins? This is where all right. If there's a prop bet for a turnover by the Jets, bet it. The Dolphins are trying to avoid to be the 5th team since the 1970 merger to not only start a season 0-4, but also do so without forcing a single turnover.
Good gracious.
They have not forced a turnover yet.
And then we're heading into Week 4. Speaking of Week 4, it is time for your Week
Yes.
4 NFL announcer lineup. All right, we're going to wake up bright and early and go to Ireland. That's right, mate. No. What do they say? The Irish, you know. Isn't it funny I can do a bad English accent, but the second it changes to Irish, oh, no, there it is. You just got to find it and start to say it like that. Right, Don?
Yes, there you go.
Found it there. We got the Vikings and the Steelers in Ireland, yeah. 9:30 a.m. on NFL Network. Interestingly, though, the broadcast will be Joe Davis on the call.
Oh, my gosh!
He'll be joined by Greg Williams.
James Harrison one time in the middle of the game hit me so
fade it
hard
out. I'm so
under
sick of
the
this
throat.
stuff from all-
Yeah, we got to get a
Shut
different
up.
one.
Shut up. I can't take him anymore. I hate you.
I want Stifler quotes from the
Just give
American
me Stifler.
Pie movies.
You know what, Don?
There
It's
you
great. Give me
Perfect.
Stifler.
Perfect.
Pam Oliver, the legend.
Hey, now.
And Jamie Erdahl.
Jamie Erdahl.
That's right, Erdahl.
See how much
it's not Erdahl, it's Erdahl.
But you know how great it is when you get something new?
Oh, it's going to feel great. I love it. That felt good. It's not Erdahl, it's Erdahl. Let's go to Atlanta.
I'm aggressive by nature.
There we go.
Oh,
Let's go to Atlanta, get ourselves a cheap hot dog, and watch the Commanders without Jaden Daniels against the Falcons. 1 o'clock on CBS, the old NFC CBS clash with our friend Ian Eagle on the call.
What is happening here?
He'll be joined by Jonathan Joseph Watt.
That was like a WWE heel turn.
And
the lobby is bustling. There is an energy here.
we stay at CBS.
Don't ever change that one.
We stay. No, that never changes. You got to know. You got to know which ones. We stay on CBS at 1 o'clock, but we take the trip up to Buffalo to see the lowly Saints at the Buffalo Bills. Andrew Catalon.
Go
going up high and bringing it down for 6.
Charles Chuck Davis.
Take your shots downfield, Carolina.
Jason, don't you dare confuse me with Devin McCourty.
It's okay, Rondé.
And A.J. Ross.
Texans running back Joe Mixon. Dapping it up.
Now, we move over to Fox, but we stay at 1 o'clock. This is kind of an interesting matchup. The horrifying offense of the Browns with that fierce defense going into Detroit to take on the Lions. 9.5-point favorites are the Lions. Kenny Albert on the call.
Most people would probably not know that I could play the piano by ear.
He'll be joined by Jonathan and Megan O'Leary.
The Trophy Hall of Fame, sick.
1 o'clock. Now, here's a game. If this game was on a Tuesday at noon, you'd believe it. But it's not. It's the Titans and the Texans. Like you nightmare about. CBS. The person forced to take on this duty is the great Beth Mowins.
Call your neighbors. Call your friends. Heck, call your enemies.
She'll be joined by Ross Tucker.
Indiana Jones and the quest for a winning season.
And Amanda Bailones.
Favorite color, favorite city.
Bailones. 1 o'clock. We go to Fox. Another game that you might throw up in your mouth. The Panthers and the Pats at 1 o'clock. Chris Myers on the call.
Hi, I'm Chris Myers.
He'll be joined by Stink Schlereth.
Lick my fingers and touch it.
And the great Jen Hale.
A down-to-the-wire thriller.
Now,
that's a Super Bowl rematch to you and me.
It really is. Boy, a lot has changed. Now, the Chargers and the Giants. A lot of TVs in the Tri-State will have this game on at 1 o'clock. CBS. Kevin Harlan on the call. Okay.
Some guy with a bra.
He'll be joined by Trent Green.
Holy smokes.
And Melanie Collins.
This rivalry never disappoints. When you Derek, take me through that run.
Well, I'll tell you who's playing this 1 o'clocker on Fox, and you can tell me who's on the call. It's the Eagles and the Bucks.
Oh, Eagles and Bucks. That's going to be a Burkhardt vehicle.
That sure is. Kevin Burkhardt.
These are definitely not pumpkins.
He'll be joined by the Raiders man himself, the unbiased Thomas Brady.
He's taken a lot of sacks.
Aaron Andrews.
All right, old man. I can joke with you about that.
And Tom number 2, Rinaldi.
How spectacular and great is this?
Which leaves us in the 4 o'clock window. 4:05. And smells like a Sunday morning, maybe a Saturday morning. It doesn't smell that good. But you know what? We can fit it at 4:05. The Colts and the Rams. Alan and I all in on the Rams. Kevin Kugler on the call.
And it's caught! It's a touchdown!
He'll be joined by Daryl Johnston, a.k.a. Allison Williams on the sideline. We stay in the 4:05 window. Here's another dog ugly game. Shoe ugly, some would say, Don. The Jaguars and the Niners, but the Niners will have Brock Purdy back. It's a Fox vehicle with Adam Amin.
Now stands erect.
He'll be joined by Mark Sanchez.
Just like a bad hair day, man. Find a hat, get through the day, and go get a haircut tomorrow. I don't care how it looks. We got to survive here.
Christina Pink on the sideline.
Oh, yeah, the swagger is back.
4:25. Now you talk, oh, my God, is that 1977 Suzanne Summers? I think it is. The Ravens and the Chiefs. You know who's on the call. Jim Nantz.
Hello, Fritz.
That's right. He'll be joined by Anthony Romo.
Nance needs a bathroom break.
And Tracy Wolfson.
Are you kidding me?
And then there's another 4:25 game that no one will watch unless, of course, you're in Las Vegas, maybe some parts of Oakland and Los Angeles, or Chicago. The Bears and the Raiders. Spiro Didi's on the call.
Spiro Didi's?
He'll be joined by Adam Archuleta.
Adam Golden Archuleta.
And Aditi Kinkwabala.
Joe Flacco, do you ever age?
The Sunday Nighter, God, at the beginning of the year, you thought sexy. Now you're thinking blowout city. But two marquee franchises, two old-timey football squadrons, the Packers and the Cowboys. Don's all in on the Pack. Mike Tirico on the call on NBC.
They still seem to resonate.
There are 3 teams.
Chris Collinsworth.
Amongst huge people, he was huger.
And Melissa Starks.
Josh came over and said,
Monday night double play. But listen, it's all about one thing. You have the Jets-Dolphins at 7:15 on ESPN. You got the Bengals-Broncos at 8:15 on ABC. But bump all that, you got the Couchcast, baby!
Yes!
ESPN New York's YouTube channel will be there at 7:15 p.m., and that is your NFL announcer lineup for Week 4.
Monday, 3 o'clock. Enjoy the weekend. Mets Marlins up next.
Do you have trouble getting in and out of the bathtub?